One nation under the gun. Yeah. One nation under the gun. Wake up. It's the first of the month. Open my pockets, smoking my lungs. Free all the lose. Run to the future. Tell them the victory's already won. Call the collector, scramble my funds. One nation under the gun. Scratching and surviving. Stretching every nation. They thought all this game was free. I made them pay attention. I can't seem to get away, get away, get away. Land of the free.
Moving low key and dodging the fit. Scars on my heart, but the gold in my head from the Bay to LA. I'm carrying the weight. They love you, they hate you, that's how they gon' play. 1600 where the powers of flex. Writing my story, no edge, no stress. Been on the block, all I know is the snakes. They plotting on my moves and they raising the stakes. Hopes in my vein, but the system's amazing. Every step that I take, and it feels like a haze. Stretching my blessing, trying to double my weight. Lost some homies in your game, now I'm praying for them. They taxing my soul, but I'ma keep it real. Saw my name on the dotted line, blood on the
Greetings.
block to the White House, dodging on the
Drummer.
back on my pain in the rack. I'm back on the grind and I'm running up the score. They thought I fall off, now I'm kicking down the door. Got the money in the pocket and the smoke in the air. Every move that I make makes a stop to stare. 1600 where the power resides. Speaking my truth, let it light up the sky. Free my dog, got the picture say grace. Every star on my soul, the story to change.
Wake up.
It's the first of the month. Open my pockets, smoking my lungs. Free all the leaves, run to the future. Tell them the victory's already won. Call the collector, scramble my funds.
One nation under the what?
Scratching and surviving. Stretching every nation. They thought all this game was free. I made them pay attention. I can't see the
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Hopefully we get better reception. Let's go.
Move in the dark where the power's concealed. The promise they make is part of the deal. Got hope on the chest and the
Yes.
in the back of the land of the free and the chains on my back. They riding my step, coming back to my glove. I'm guiding the step, keep my eyes on the goal.
Hey, let's go, let's go. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good
morning.
Turn my losses into lesson, now I'm flipping that truth. Future says done, but the war's
Chief
still
Ed,
alive.
welcome. Let's go. Uncle
Uncle
Trey, let's go.
Open the door in the system, the vice making all these moves, yeah, rolling like a dice. I'm stretching the living, trying to break through the lies, see the pain in the city, hear the streets when they cry. That's a long dream, trying to get my life, but my heart to the mission, let it burn all night. On the block to the air, on the voice of the lost, let it burst for my freedom, never counting that cost. Every sin, every one, like a battle, my home in the land of the snakes, I'm building.
Let's go. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
It's the first of the month.
Hey,
Open my pockets, smoking my lungs. Free all the leaves.
welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. You know what we're here to do.
Scramble my funds.
Scramble our fun. Let's go.
Scratching and surviving. Stretching every nation.
Woo.
They thought all this game was free. I made them pay attention. I can't seem to get away.
All right, let's get this show started, ladies and gentlemen. We don't have all morning to do the Lord's work. Let's go. Wow, you all are so excited to see me. Let's go. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we are back in the Thunderdome. Let's go. I'll be back. It's like every week I gotta take out the trash. I'm on top of my game, ahead of the class. You can tell that I made it. Look at my graph. Play the game so wrong, I won't finish last. Hey, Marcy, good morning. Tippy Toes, good morning. Callie Love, good morning. Wow, let's go. Sticky fingers. I got all these numbers on my spreadsheet. Let's go. Am I right, Evan? Let's go, Queen Flea. Tinkerbell. I see you out there. I see all of you. Wow. Good morning, Scorpion. Let's go. Sunshine, I see you. All right, here it goes. Here's our favorite part. Here's our favorite part.
Tell you what, I haven't gone into Zeus's live.
Just a lie. Screen recording me. Keep it clean, please.
It was horrible.
Please, please.
I'm like, Zeus has gone way off the rails.
What?
It's like deja vu. It's like
Yeah.
deja vu. It's like
They always say it, and it hurts every single time.
deja vu.
It really does. All right, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully we don't get into any turbulence this morning like we did yesterday. Once again, we are back in the Thunderdome. I'm your host. I am your pilot. Hey, good morning, Rick. Nice to see all of you. Yes, and once again, we're gathered here to do the real work it takes to save this great country of ours from the evil clutches of Donald J. Trump and his legion of MAGA demons, who we all understand are hell-bent on destroying themselves and this great country of ours because they hate themselves and they hate their country, all right? And so before we get into that, let's take care of some very, very important housekeeping items, all right? For those of you, this might be your first time tuning in, listening to someone like me. Yeah, I go by the name Zeus, or as some like to say, Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H, ladies and gentlemen? Well, it's quite simple. Good morning, Monica. Nice to see you. Good morning, Michael. The first H is because I'm honest. And you can ask Hoodlum. Remember Hoodlum? He came up here with one H yesterday. It was so funny. I laughed. Don't come up in my box with a name with only one H because you always lose. I promise you. And I don't even really have to say anything. But the first H is because I'm honest. All right? I'll say what needs to be said. You know what? If it hurts your feelings, I really don't care at this point, especially if they're MAGA, because MAGA has done something very unforgivable in my opinion, all right? So that's the first H. The second H is because I'm humble. You know, if I get it wrong, you know me, I'll be the first one to apologize. But here's the thing. Just because your feelings are hurt, does that mean I owe you an apology? Let's ask the audience. Just because MAGA's feelings are hurt, does that mean we owe them an apology, ladies and gentlemen? I'm just asking because I could change no. All right, W to the chat. And so if I don't have to apologize, neither should you. Now, I'm the nicest of all the bunch that I hang out with on this app. I'm the nicest, so MAGA, if you can't get it right with me, hell will be your portion, all right? And that leads me to the last part, which is the third H. What is the third H? It's because I am and will always remain, you've guessed it, the most handsome. Eugene didn't see that coming. Now, like I said, you know what we do? We keep the door to the floor over here. We don't let no tadpole wiggle tail get through when we start bringing all this truth. You know, they made me take away the hammer that I used to have on this show because they said, Zeus, the hammer scaring the demons. Okay, fine. I don't need the hammer to engage in what I call a bit of an exorcism, so to speak. You can look at me like that. What I do is I confront the MAGA demons, and actually I have a great supporting cast, all of you. We confront these MAGA demons in real time, and we just let them know they're going to get rebuked and sent straight to hell, because guess what? That's what's going to ultimately happen. Do we buy the narrative out there, ladies and gentlemen, that MAGA are Christians? Do we buy that narrative still? Does anyone think MAGA are really God-fearing, Christian, wholesome people out there? Does anyone believe that? Good morning, David. Nice to see you. Does anyone think MAGA is God-fearing, you know, God in the Bible, so to speak? Because these folks, okay, W to the chat. And so, with that being said, no one does. And that's how we keep it over here. They can lie as much as they want, but it won't work. So let's just go ahead and get this show started. So before I do, let me double check. Are there any Trump voters out there? Any MAGA or conservative women out there? Anyone out there still worshiping Donald Trump? Look at his mouth. His mouth just looks disgusting. His mouth, you can just tell he's put a lot of things in that. All right, and it's disgusting things. You can ask Bubba. All right. So I'll say this: if you're a Trump supporter, leave my show and go and hang out with all the other liars on social media, who we all now understand come from Nigeria. Nothing makes me laugh than to know that all of the Trump supporters that get on this internet and they start spewing things, nothing makes me laugh, more than knowing that we all now know they're getting their information from Nigeria. Y'all go to Nigeria, all right? Because over here, we're going to tell you the truth, okay? Whether you like it or not. And if you can't handle it, leave right now, because it's going to get very, very uncomfortable for you. I promise you it will. But get this, you don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave.
True.
If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now.
Go to Nigeria.
Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, the doors to the Thunderdome, they've officially closed. And you know me, I take no responsibility for how the sparks may start to fly. To the mutuals, I just say, get your shields and your weapons together, because there's going to be sparks flying. There's going to be tears shed. But ultimately, it's all for a great thing. All right, W Zeus. Thank you. So we're going to kind of try to pick up where we left off yesterday before I got into some turbulence, and I think my computer and internet are a little more stable. W. Rick! W. Rio! W. Rika! Hey, Kabira, I see you. And all of you lovely, real soldiers out here doing the real work it takes to save democracy. And you know the work we're doing is actually paying off because it's a lot quieter. It's a lot safer on the internet now because it's a lot less MAGAs around here. You know, life is a lot better when you don't have a lot of MAGA running around here repeating things they've heard in Nigeria and trying to stand and represent it like it's American. Everything you hear Trump voters saying from now on, ladies and gentlemen, just know they're not getting it from reputable sources. They're getting it from Nigeria, and that's a W Zeus. I personally don't have a problem with Nigeria, but I do have a problem with these folks out here branding themselves as America first, and then I find out they're from Nigeria, and people keep saying, Zeus, why are you saying Nigeria? It's not just Nigeria, it's other countries. Okay, Russia, it could be any of those, Tibet, anywhere in the world these people are, but they're not getting American information out here, all right? They're getting it from other countries through X, and they now have to live with this total embarrassment. They've been lied to for over 10 years. Imagine. These people have branded themselves as intelligent, and now they found out because Elon and Donald Trump, they're not getting along, right? Donald Trump, I heard, turned Elon's water off with Doge, right? Doge secretly disappeared. And so what did Elon decide to do? I don't know, but you could go look into it. He took away the feature on X where they can hide where they're coming from, where these accounts are from, and now 80%, they're saying, I think it's actually 100%. 100% MAGA accounts, ladies and gentlemen, they're not even from the United States. These people are so gullible. MAGA, you are so gullible. I got to do the Lake of Fire, and I didn't want to do it. You are so gullible that not only does Donald Trump think you're an easy mark and uses you to make as much money as he wants, but people, even outside of America, in countries like Nigeria, and I got to keep saying it because I know a lot of them are racist. And I say it like that because they are racist. But now they got to realize that people they dislike and think they're better than have been making money off of them too because they know they're just as ignorant. They're the most ignorant people on the planet. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming up the Lake of Fire. This is for all the Trump voters out there that still are on the Trump train. What more evidence do you need? To understand this train is going straight to hell. I mean, we've given you the Epstein. We gave you Epstein. You didn't buy it. Now you got to deal with the reality. No, I don't want to battle, but I don't want to battle. Hold on. And now you got to deal with the reality that the information you're getting is coming from your worst nightmare. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending these demons where they belong. Straight to hell. I don't care. I don't care. I really don't care.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Run for the hills if you're dealing with someone in a relationship. Maybe it's early on. Heck, I don't care if you've been with the demon for 20 years. You know, a lot of these conservative women, they say, Zeus, I'm happily married. You know, because MAGA Queen comes in here, and one of the bears, Zeus, we're happily married. They always say it. None of you are happily married. I'm firmly convinced. If you find a CW, I call them a conservative woman, and they're hanging out on TikTok, and they're not just, actually all of them, they're not happily married. They're not happily married. Neither are the men. These folks are miserable. They're miserable because guess what? They know that deep down inside, they're not that intelligent, and they're ignorant, and they've sold their souls to Donald Trump and the MAGA demon for a very, very cheap price. And so a lot of them are going to end up going through hell and hot water, all right, in order to at least get, try to survive. Now, that leads me to a MAGA demon we all are very familiar with, Marjorie Taylor Greene. As much as I want to be mad at Marjorie Taylor Greene, I've been thinking about it. I do got to say thank you, Marjorie, for just doing what you need to do to destroy the cult. I mean, it couldn't have been a Democrat to do what she's done because a Democrat would have never gotten this deep in the cult. But the fact that she's willing to take on Donald Trump and MAGA over the Epstein files, it's serious business, and it's triggering a bit of a serious, honestly, situation. A lot of they're saying a lot of members in Congress are actually thinking about resigning. All right, so yeah, let's get them out of here. Marjorie wrote today, only 20% of Americans are on X. And this is where the political industrial complex controls a hive mind with hyper partisan politics. This is what she wrote this morning. It's toxic, it's hateful, and it's divisive. Quote, many accounts are paid and many are foreign, and they post and comment all day with targeted talking points in order to sway your opinions. You see how easy it is, MAGA? Do you see how easy it is for you to be manipulated? Marjorie's calling this stuff out. We've been saying it for a while, but it hits different when it's one of your own, W. Zeus. She says, however, it's not real. Real life exists without a phone, tablet, or computer. Real life is tangible, involves relationships with people, productive work, and all the fun and amazing adventures that the beautiful world has to offer. Real life among common Americans is what holds this country up and where solutions to our future resides. Most of all, it's where happiness is. And that's so... I know Marjorie would never have been able to say anything like that without at least listening to the things Big Zeus has been saying for years. And so, ladies and gentlemen, give Big Zeus a round of applause. Thank you. Because she's actually someone that's actually starting to allow what I'm saying to sink in, all right, and actually do something in her brain, free her from being in the cult. But as I looked at her post, believe you me, ladies and gentlemen, I was utterly disgusted when I saw what the MAGA demons were saying, because the MAGA demons, they don't want you to escape the cult. I'll just read one thing a MAGA demon wrote, and then I'll go straight to judgment. Shut up. This is what, and it's a male. You know it's a male when they say this, because this is, you know when you started out saying shut up. Well, they got that from Donald Trump. Remember when Trump went, quiet, piggy, to that woman? So the MAGA male species, there's no respect for women. All right, MAGA men do not respect women at all. I'm going to say it again. MAGA men do not respect women at all. Okay, ladies? And so I'm just giving you some free insight. So he says, shut up, quitter. Move along now. You've decided that you don't want to do the hard political work to make real change. Also note, dimwit, that you are on X talking politics while decrying talking politics on X. Delete your account. Go back to your construction business. You and your alien employees. You see how the MAGA men react when Marjorie confronts their dear leader for being, guess what, in the Epstein files and may even possibly either be a P3DO or a person protecting a P3DO? The MAGA men turned around and they attacked her. And so, ladies and gentlemen, join me, because I know there's some demons in my audience right now. And they say, Zeus, will you please lighten up? Don't be so mean to us MAGA men. We made a terrible mistake voting for Donald Trump. Just let bygones be bygones. Anyone could have made such a mistake. And I say, how many times did you vote for him? I voted for him all 3 times. You voted for this man more than once? Yes, Zeus. Okay, well, guess what I'm going to do? Number 1, I'm not going to give you any sympathy or pity. And then number 2, I'm going to send you behind where you belong, straight to hell. I could care less. I really could care less.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
All right, and I'll give you another example. Now, hopefully this works, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully this works. I was trying to do this yesterday, and he escaped judgment, but I'm not going to let him escape judgment today. Let's see if we get this in.
Oh, Trump.
Okay, it works today. All right, so I'm going to go back to what I wanted to talk about. Now, this is a rancher that has voted for Donald Trump 3 times and is now upset with Donald Trump because he says that JBS is a corrupt beef organization and that Trump is now going to allow them to be publicly traded in America. This will end up causing him to lose everything he has if it happens. So get your toilet paper out, your tissues, all right? Because this is going to make a lot of you real sad.
I'm a supporter of President Donald Trump. Voted for him in this election and the last, and the one prior to that. However, President Trump is about to allow JBS, the world's most corrupt beef organization, to become publicly traded in America. President Donald Trump will be the president that allows for the complete destruction of the small, independent family farms and cattle ranches if he allows this to go through. The SEC has already approved it. Now we're just waiting a mere few days for them to allow it on the stock exchange. And what's concerning is we haven't heard a word from the Secretary of Agriculture about this. We haven't heard any of the large cattle organizations that represent cattlemen speak out about this. They claim to represent cattlemen. The truth is they only represent the big guys. They're bought and paid for by the same organizations, JBS, Cargill, Tyson, National Beef, all the collusion that's happening. Go do a very simple search and you'll see the millions and millions, tens upon millions of dollars that these companies have been ordered to pay for collusion and price fixing, which has cost us our family farms and ranches. And what that costs us as the people who aren't family farms and ranches is a stable food system. As much as I'm a supporter of many of the other things that Trump is doing, anything else in the world that we're working to accomplish and achieve doesn't matter when you have famine and you starve to death. So, Mr. President, I love you, I appreciate you. It is our job as citizens to hold you accountable, and whoever you've got in your circle, they ain't speaking truth because you're about to put us in a whole world of hurt. Folks, I need you to share this. This is urgent. We've only got a mere few days, and we need millions of people to put pressure to stop this, or it's going to be it'll be a much harder fight to come back from. Thanks, everybody. Shake the hand to feed you.
All right. So now that you've heard this demon crying out in the wilderness, I first need to double check because I have a different reaction. Does anybody out there feel sorry for this demon? Does anybody feel sorry for this demon? I mean, because what I don't want to do is take out my anger and frustration on someone that's innocent. Does anyone feel sorry for him? I'm just double checking. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Thank you. All right. W to the chat. So let me go ahead and get straight to judgment. Mr. Rancher, you voted for this. Let me get this straight. Not once, but twice. No, not twice, but 3 times. And now you want to feel... Now you're surprised that Donald Trump has basically placed a proverbial knife in your back, huh? And now you feel like you're on the verge of fighting for your mere existence. You pathetic little individual. You're not a man. You're not an adult. You are a human that is occupying a vessel, and your brain is probably only developed to age 4, all right? And so you've allowed yourself to become a vassal of transgression for your dear leader. And now you've resorted to getting on an app ran by China, because TikTok is a Chinese app, begging. Who are you begging to get your message to your dear leader, as if your struggle is the most important struggle out of all the struggles going on in America right now? Where was this at when Donald Trump was running around here, committing war crimes against Americans, with ICE agents? You didn't say anything then, but it's always the case. It's never an issue until it happens to you. I want to call him brother, but he ain't a brother of mine. So what I'm going to do is this. Let you be an example. W alter ego. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, let this be an example that Donald Trump doesn't discriminate. The MAGA demon does not discriminate. It doesn't matter what race, religion, creed you are. Once it gets inside of you and you allow it, guess what? Hell and destruction will come upon you like a thief in the night. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending this so-called cattle rancher where he belongs. Where, Zeus? Where are you going to send him? Straight to hell? I don't care.
Silence, you Maga.
And that's a huge W, Zeus. I could keep going. I mean, again, when you have this kind of content, ladies and gentlemen, this stuff just literally, it writes itself. It really does. All right. So let's move on to my next topic, ladies and gentlemen. And this won't take long. This honestly won't take long, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to Letitia James.
A major legal setback for the Trump administration as a federal judge dismissed the indictments against James Comey and Letitia James. They said the interim U.S. attorney, Lindsay Halligan, who brought the charges, was invalidly installed. Washington correspondent Basil John reports on what this means for the case.
Oh, what is... Go ahead, Tim.
Well, David, good morning. And yes, Judge Cameron Curry ruled Lindsay Halligan's Trump-backed appointment as interim U.S. attorney violated federal law and any actions taken, including the indictments, must be thrown out.
Oh.
In a video posted to Instagram, James Comey said the case never should have been brought.
I'm grateful that the court ended the case against me, which was a prosecution based on malevolence and incompetence.
Letitia James also celebrated the ruling. In a statement, she said, quote, "I remain fearless in the face of these baseless charges as I continue fighting for New Yorkers every single day." The Justice Department says it isn't done with Attorney General Pam Bondi vowing to appeal.
We'll be taking all available legal action, including an immediate appeal, to hold Letitia James and James Comey accountable.
And the DOJ says,
I just gotta stop right there. At what point do you all realize that Pam Bondi is actually MAGA's worst nightmare, because she's actually pretending like she knows what she's doing at your expense? W. Santana. She's actually trying to pretend like she's actually going to deliver on the goods. And we've all been down this path with Pam Bondi before. And at this point, it's flat out embarrassing. But what the Trump administration continues to do is embarrassing, because it's not so much that they do it, but it's the fact that I still talk to people on the right whenever they are actually, a little bit able to speak clearly, and they repeat this stuff. So she lied about, we found this guy. He's, a person they said was an immigrant. He's tied to these kind of gang activities. And she did a whole publicity stunt and then quietly dismissed the case because she got it wrong. And we've seen her, how she lured a bunch of these right-wing... Oh, I can't deal with Pam Bondi. She lured... You know how Donald Trump lured a bunch of the Trump voters to January 6th onto the Capitol? It's so easy to lure them. Hey, guys, why don't you come on over here to the DOJ headquarters? And what I'll do is, I'm going to announce we're going to release the Epstein files. And then what I'll do is I'll let you be the ones that actually walk out and show the world we mean business. And we're going to be getting those Epstein files out there. And every time they do this, MAGA falls for it. Y'all keep falling for this. And at this point, you know what? You make your bed, you got to lay in it. So let's get this straight. Donald Trump tricked his supporters into believing they were going to get justice. And you remember, Snuggles, where did you go? DJ, where did you go? We finally got Letitia James. We finally got her. James, we finally got her. This is what we voted for. This is how they act. Hosted whole lives on TikTok. This is what we voted for. All these gifts flying around in there. And then we get to where we're at right now, MAGA, and guess what? It was all a ruse. You know what? A sucker is born every day. And MAGA, you ain't nothing but a new lick. Ladies and gentlemen, join me. W. Kabira. Ladies and gentlemen. Join me in sending these deranged, incompetent, ignorant individuals who brand themselves as so-called conservatives. Join me in sending them where they belong, because they keep falling for Donald Trump's lies like they're always brand new. Join me in sending them straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
And that's a huge W. That's a huge W, Zeus, ladies and gentlemen, because at the end of the day, I haven't lied yet. And you can just see the MAGA in the audience. They're crying right now. They're saying, Zeus, please don't. But I'm going to myself, hey, MAGA, when are you going to realize Donald Trump always does the same thing to you? All right. Whenever he's into some heat, what is he going to do? I'm going to get a Democrat. I'm going to go get an immigrant. And y'all sit there and go, oh, okay, that's a great way to take our attention off the fact that you're in the Epstein files. And you guys, and then you turn around and send them money. And you just keep falling for it. It's so easy to call this stuff out. I'll give you another example. How many of you know who this is? Oh, yes. How many of you know this is Senator Mark Kelly? And, I mean, you guys got triggered because he told Donald Trump and the world basically in a commercial, hey, if the president is telling you to do something unlawful or illegal, don't do it. And MAGA has just lost their minds. They just lost their minds. Oh, we're not worried about the Epstein files anymore. We're worried about this commercial. Well, why are you worried about the commercial? Because our dear leader told us to. This is how MAGA thinks. You weren't thinking about it before, but once the dear leader planted the seed in your mind, all of a sudden it became your problem, right? And so let's just go ahead and get this on the record. This won't take long.
We first brought this to you last hour. The Pentagon said it was looking into serious allegations of misconduct against Democratic Senator Mark Kelly. This followed he and 5 others who were either for the former military or former intelligence, saying to troops that they can defy unlawful orders. Well, now, for the first time, we are hearing from Senator Kelly. Let me bring you in if I can. Michael Schnell, obviously our Capitol Hill reporter. I'm not used to seeing you in person at the desk, but this is a very pointed and very strong statement from Senator Kelly.
Yeah, Senator Kelly very defiant in the wake of this news, this statement from Secretary Hegseth saying that the Department of War, the Defense Department, may be investigating Senator Kelly.
I'm going to just stop that. So MAGA, it's the same thing. Isn't it funny how every time Donald Trump gets caught doing something and the heat is on, the way out or the distraction is either he's going to go deal something in a foreign country, Ukraine peace deal. All of a sudden now that's a hot thing to talk about. Or I'm investigating somebody. And just like that, MAGA, they forget what they were originally focused on while their pockets keep getting picked by their dear leader. And guess what, MAGA? I mean, you want to know how ridiculous this sounds. How could Donald Trump, honestly, if you sit back and just listen, this is how Mark Kelly responded. How could Donald Trump go up against this? Seriously. If you got to pick your battles, right? Listen to what Mark Kelly said yesterday on Rachel Maddow. I mean, I heard this and I said, I don't want any smoke with a man that's been through all of this.
I have to ask, even though I hear you when you say you're not intimidated, this must be a source of stress for you and your family. I just have to ask the kind of impact that it's having on you and your loved ones.
Rachel, I've had a missile blow up next to my airplane. I've been nearly shot down multiple times. I've flown a rocket ship into space 4 times, built by the lowest bidder. And my wife, Gabby Giffords, meeting with their constituents, shot in the head. Wow. 6 people killed around her. Wow. A horrific thing. She spent 6 months in the hospital. We know what political violence is, and we know what causes it, too. The statements that Donald Trump made is insightful, incites others. He's got millions of supporters. People listen to what he says more so than anybody else in the country. And he should be careful with his words. But I'm not going to be silenced here. Is it stressful? I've been stressed by, things more important than Donald Trump trying to intimidate me into shutting my mouth and not doing my job. He didn't like what I said. I'm going to show up for work every day, support the Constitution, do my job, hold this administration accountable, hold this president accountable when he is out of line. That's the responsibility of every U.S. senator and every member of Congress. He's not going to silence us.
W. Mark Kelly. You're not going to silence a man that's been through that. And if I were Donald Trump, I'd relax right now, because a man that's been through all of that is a man you don't want to get into it with. Promise me. I'm speaking from experience. And so this is another L that Donald Trump is setting himself up to take. I just want MAGA to understand this. This is another L that Donald Trump is setting himself up to take. He's doing all that tough talk. But you got to be honest. When we saw what Zoran Mamdani did to him last week, the tough talk is over. As far as I'm concerned, that's a W Zeus. And look at this. He sends, what kind of tough man keeps sending this known liar out here to try to lie to us about what's going on? You know her name, Caroline Lyon Leavitt.
Fortunate that these Democrat senators made this egregious and completely irresponsible statement. And let's be very clear, Martha, these Democrat senators knew exactly what they were doing. It's not a coincidence that all of them have military or national security experience in their background. They were leaning into that experience to try and give a wink and a nod to the 1.3 million active duty service members who serve in our United States Armed Forces, and essentially encourage them to defy the orders of their commander-in-chief, which is illegal, by the way. Let me be very clear. Not a single order this president or administration has given to our military has ever been illegal, nor will it ever be.
So how many people out there think that she's right, that Donald Trump hasn't given our military any illegal orders? And we'll just go ahead and debunk that because I posted it on my video. We have found out, ladies and gentlemen, listen, what he's done by putting the National Guard in Los Angeles, judges have said that wasn't allowed, all right? Putting the National Guard in D.C., the judges said that wasn't allowed. Putting the National Guard in Oregon, judges said that's not allowed. Or what about bringing the National Guard from Texas to Chicago and doing all that other stuff? Yeah, not allowed. And then we got the military strikes going on in the Eastern Pacific and, in the Caribbean, and they're just striking fishing boats. Yeah, that's not legal. And in my opinion, honestly, it's beyond illegal now. We're getting into the war crime territory. So Senator Mark Kelly and all the other Democrats, they were in their right minds to instruct our men and women in uniform to not throw their lives away for Donald Trump, because that's what he is setting them up to get done to them, right? Because think about it. Everything Donald Trump recruits somebody to be a part of and do, guess who ends up going to jail? They do. And then guess who ends up getting out of going to jail? Donald Trump. And so what we'll do is this, because I know MAGA doesn't value their lives. Ladies and gentlemen, join me once again in sending these Trump supporters that do not value their lives and continue to worship Donald Trump all the way straight to the pits of hell. Join me in sending them where they want to go. Where, Zeus? Straight to hell. Wow.
Silence, you Maga demon.
All right, that's a W, Zeus. Now I ran across this interesting video, and this is from a certified MAGA demon, Black Scout Survival. You can go look this up and listen to these wise words, MAGA. He's cautioning the MAGA base. Honestly, he's saying, "Look, take a look at this guy. Take a look at this demon. Do you really think this demon right here, MAGA? Do you really think this demon is playing 5D chess?" I want MAGA to just answer that question. Do you think Donald Trump is playing 5D chess?
Keeping some people off.
Watch this.
Good. That means you're awake.
Mm-hmm.
Because what we're watching right now isn't 4D chess. It isn't a grand strategy. And it sure as hell isn't the America First movement we signed up for. This is the collapse of an illusion. Some say maybe a mask slipping. A movement shedding its skin and revealing something else.
Uh-oh.
So buckle up, because I'm going to walk you through the facts.
Here he goes, MAGA.
Not fantasy, not the fan fiction, not that cult scripture being pumped out by the blue check influencers, the bought and paid for us.
It's called cult scripture. I never heard of that, but it's nice to know that that's what they talk like inside of the cult, ladies and gentlemen. This is a real life testimony from a certified MAGA demon saying he's done consuming that cult scripture.
But the actual timeline.
Mm-hmm.
And when you see everything lined up,
right,
you understand why millions of people are waking up this week and asking one question.
What is that?
What the hell is happening? Okay. So, the first domino. Doge. Let's start with the announcement nobody wants to talk about.
Oh.
Doge, the office that was supposed to restructure the government, reduce spending, drain the swamp, all the stuff we were promised to be dissolved, like the Fort Knox audit and so on. No dramatic showdown, no swamp creatures dragged out of their cubicles. It's just gone. 8 months left on the mandate, and it gets quietly shut down like a failed tech startup. Now, we know that Elon and Trump had some friction a while back. Elon stated Trump was in the Epstein files. Seems to be he was right. Right? Lots of...
Wow.
1,380 times his name was mentioned. But anyway, back to Doge. Well, that's the obvious. Every grown adult should be thinking, what happened to saving all the money? Man, they were talking about $5,000 Doge checks. What happened to fixing the machine? Government waste. What happened to the vengeance tour, right? Elon was out there with a chainsaw. People don't want to admit it, but the dogma doesn't replace reality. It's the one office designed to fight the system, right? Is the first one to get the axe?
Yeah.
Then maybe the system wasn't the real target.
Does anybody feel sorry for this demon crying right now? Does anyone out there feel sorry? Because this is painful. It's painful for them, ladies and gentlemen, to come through and see where we're at right now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Sad day, because I know a lot of people were, wanting to see the government spending cleaned up. Okay. But the next domino.
Next domino.
The Mamdani situation.
Mamdani.
Okay? You guys familiar with that one?
Yeah.
Right?
We're familiar.
The guy's a Democratic socialist. A man who's openly trashed Trump. A guy whose entire brand is being the soy version of AOC. And what does Trump do? Invites him to the Oval Office.
Oh.
Now, a lot of us were expecting scorched earth.
Scorched earth.
Trump 2016. F around and find out. No, but we got smiles, handshakes, photo op. And then tells the press, man, I feel comfortable living in Mamdani's New York City.
Ooh.
Hold on, pause. Let that sink in. The same New York City where Americans can't afford rent, the streets look like a dystopian movie. And crime is the lifestyle brand, right? Let me play the clip for you.
Just want to congratulate. I think you're going to have hopefully a really great mayor. The better he does, the happier I am. Congratulations, Mr. Mayor. I feel very confident that he can do a very good job. I think he is going to surprise some conservative people, actually, and some very liberal people who want.
A socialist is going to surprise you. Hell yeah, he's going to surprise you.
Surprise him because they already like him. He said a lot of my voters actually voted for him.
A lot of my voters, smug, laughing, voted for him. No, they didn't.
And I'm okay with that. He wants to have a safe New York.
Crash out.
Ultimately, a safe New York is going to be a great New York.
Wow.
Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about.
That's okay. You can just say yes. It's easier than explaining it. I don't know. Some of his ideas really have the same ideas that I have. The new.
Dude, I can't get on board with having any of the same ideas as a socialist. But okay, maybe Trump's not as right wing as we thought.
Word is affordability. Another word is just groceries. It's sort of an old fashioned word. He doesn't want to see crime, and I don't want to see crime.
Wow.
Very little doubt that.
He's the guy that just said. I just played a video 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago of him saying that a lot of these crimes, like violent crimes, should not be labeled as crime. He said it himself. I have a video of it.
We're not going to get along on that issue. He wants to see houses go up, apartments built, etc. And people would be shocked. But I want to see the same thing. We had a meeting today that actually surprised me. He wants to see no crime. He wants to see housing being built.
No crime in the sense is that he's not going to label crime as crime.
He wants to see rates coming down, all things that I agree with. I expect to be helping him, not hurting him. A big help, because I want New York City to be great. I think this mayor can do some things that are going to be really great.
Would you feel comfortable living in New York City under a Mamdani?
Yeah, I would. I really would, especially after the meeting. We agree on a lot more than I would have thought. I want him to do a great job, and we'll help him do a great job. I would feel very, very comfortable being in New York, and I think much more so after the meeting. This is a man that right now I think is focused in New York City. I really think he has a chance to do a great job. We're going to help him, but I really think he has a chance to do a great job. Being the mayor of New York City is a big deal. I think you really have a chance to make it great. I appreciate that.
Mr. President, you say you love New York.
The biggest people in the world, they come over from countries nobody cares. But they did care about this meeting, and it was a great meeting. If he could be a spectacular success, I'd be very happy.
They care about other people from other countries. Talking about the Al Qaeda terrorists, maybe. Not.
I think we will.
Yeah.
I think we will.
See, he can't handle.
I enjoyed the meeting. We had a great meeting.
Republican Elise Stefanik has campaigned multiple times by calling Zohran Mamdani a jihadist. Do you think you're standing next to a jihadist right now in the Oval Office?
No, I don't. I met with a man who's a very rational person. He really wants to see New York be great again. I think he can bring it back. I think he wants to make it greater than ever before. If he can, we'll be out there cheering. I'll be cheering for him. Thank you very much, everybody.
Now here he crash out.
Incredible, guys. Incredible. We're like this guy that you'd feel at ease living under. Come on, man. Brother, what timeline, what Marvel universe am I in, right? Since when did America First turn into America actually? Never mind. If this is strategy. Somebody replaced the playbook with a freaking BuzzFeed article. And the thing that kills me dude, is today, like I just saw so many people like this lady here. Chess, not checkers. Trump is the 5D chess master. Go read Trump's Art of the Deal. They call him Hitler and fascist, but he is kinder to the man-child who has been attacking him for months. Kill them with kindness and do not give the left ammunition.
Gotcha.
First off, they call this meeting 5D chess, dude. Come on. Like everything he does is 5D chess. They're like, oh yeah, you got make your
get it out.
Enemies closer, right? Keep your enemies close and all that kind of stuff. Dude, at what point in time is Trump bringing Al-Qaeda terrorists, backing Lindsey Graham, the Saudi press, like all these swamp creatures? Bill Gates has Zuckerberg. Like, at what point is like, okay, are you making them closer? Are you becoming friends with them? Right? Like, when is the 5D chess like 5D chess or 6D chess, 40D chess, whatever the freak they keep saying? Like, at some point in time, there has to be like a payoff. Like, oh, now it makes sense. Right? I heard that for 4 years the first term, and then I got warp speed, bump stocks, and really, I'm like, okay, I'm pulling for. And then I thought, man, you know what? They trying to indict him, shooting this dude's gonna be coming back harder.
Yeah.
I don't see 5D chess.
Oh.
I don't see it. Somebody let me know in the comments what 5D chess.
You hear that, Maga? It's the same thing. W. Zeus, ladies and gentlemen, and he said something very powerful at the very. I gotta skip ahead. This whole thing is just him crying. But this is the part that I wanted to go ahead and wrap up the show by saying, let's listen to this.
But things just did not go the way they should have. And it's because this creature's so deep fractured. It's unmovable.
Right here. Keep on.
It's going to stay the course to destruction. And our politicians, our leaders, they just want to get rich on the way there.
Go ahead.
That's it.
Defeat right here. This is defeat, ladies and gentlemen.
But again, when you have, the midterms are going to be a disaster. Many of my followers, people I talk to, don't ever even plan to vote again.
Oh,
so
MAGA, y'all don't want to vote anymore? Is this the sentiment? Oh no, we don't even want to participate anymore because we've been so embarrassed and humiliated by our dear leader.
It's going to be nasty coming into the midterms. Maybe that'd be good because maybe then Lindsey Graham will get booted out. We'll see.
Watch this.
Getting that strong Trump recommendation though is because the fans will go. They'll go vote for Lindsey because Daddy told them to. They'd go take the mark of the beast if Daddy told them to. I bet. Have y'all got those cult members? Have y'all got them new boosters he just launched a few weeks back with Pfizer?
He said that y'all will do what Daddy tells you to do, MAGA. He said, if Daddy tells you to get the mark of the beast, you'll go and do that too, you cult members. And this is so fitting. And so what I'll do is this, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and warm up the Lake of Fire Black Scout Survival Show. I'm glad that you were at least aware enough in this level of deception that you've been in, that you've been going through this for 4 years, and now you're at the moment where you realize there is no 5D chess after all. It's all about Daddy getting what he wants out of you. And ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending this Trump voter right here where he belongs, as long as other people as well, straight to hell. It doesn't matter.
Silence, you Maga demon.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, W. Zeus. It never surprises me when they come out of the fog and what it takes to get them to come out of the fog. But it seems a lot of people, and they're saying even Marjorie, it was this meeting right here, this meeting. If you layer it, right, what we all went through this past weekend, we were getting so many W's as the Democrats that I literally blacked out. I thought I was at a nightclub the way it was happening. I was like, did I have too much fun on Friday when Zoran Mamdani went in there and just totally made Donald Trump bend the knee And then later on in the day, didn't Marjorie, she resigned and all this other stuff. Thomas Massey's piping up. I mean, I'm going, whoa, I thought I blacked out, but it all happened in under 24 hours. And Donald Trump knows this. This is why a lot of the people, they said, well, there's some folks out there in Congress, Republicans, they're on the verge of possibly resigning. Why are they going to resign? Because everything Trump is doing is unpopular. They're not able to go out here and have town halls anymore because they've been getting their behinds kicked out there. And they can't speak up against their dear leader because they just watched what Marjorie did. And all Marjorie did was stand up for little girls who may have been essayed by Donald Trump or some of the people in his circle. And guess what he did? He sicked the cult on them. It just shows you, ladies and gentlemen, how disgusting the cult is. Speaking of disgusting, yeah, this is what I wanted to do yesterday. Yeah, I was talking about this situation. I was talking about this disgusting swamp creature, RFK Jr., walking on the airplane. You see this? And then the scandal that's going on with Olivia Nussey. Yeah, this is what it says. He wrote her some poetry. Your open mouth is awaiting my harvest. This, you know, she's supposedly getting engaged with someone else, but he's backdooring her. And his wife, she must be okay with it because this is how they get down in conservative circles. Zoran belongs to Maga now. He does what we say. You believe that? You believe that, Dave? You believe that? Dave, come on up here. This. What demon? What pack of demons? What legion do you belong to, Dave? Because where did you get that from? Where did you get that from, Dave? I actually think it's the other way around. You just might be a communist. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I invited Dave to come up here. Because Dave seems to be tardy to the party, and he doesn't realize that he just might be a communist this whole time. Because guess what? Your dear leader is. You saw him in the Oval Office with Zoran. So, ladies and gentlemen, Dave doesn't want to come up here. So what we'll do is this. Let's go ahead and warm up the Lake of Fire. Hey, Dave, I got some bad news for you. MAGA is over, and guess what? It turns out since you like Zoran, you just might be a communist. Now go and tell your family that. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending MAGA Dave, a.k.a. he should change his name to Communist Dave where he belongs. Straight to hell! Y'all gotta be honest with yourselves.
Silence, you MAGA.
Now, what I wanted to do was this. Now, let's listen to RFK, ladies and gentlemen, read his poetry to Olivia Nussey, and then we'll go straight to judgment. And you know, this is incredible.
You've got some leaked text messages from RFK to Olivia Nussey, the ex-fiance who broke up the whole thing because he found out these text messages. He's telling on her.
Yeah.
And these text messages, aka poem, whatever, they're pretty gross. So we're going to read them together. And you're right. I'm going to read them in the voice. Your open mouth, awaiting my harvest. I mean to squeeze your cheeks, to force open your mouth. And I'll hold your nose as you look up at me to encourage you to swallow. Don't spill a drop. I am a river. You are my canyon. I need to flow through you. I need to subdue you and tame you, my love.
Only in a circus ran by Donald Trump will you get this level of sickness and derangement. And I bet he really thought he was putting up big buckets doing this, saying stuff like this. RFK Jr., just stop. Just stop. Nobody loves you, all right? You're a disgusting, vile swamp creature. And this so-called poetry you're spitting, embarrassing to say the least. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and warm up the Lake of Fire. Y'all heard what he was saying. He's trying to get his thing taken care of. You know, he's trying to get a little action down there. And that's the best he got, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, he ain't gonna get a doggone thing either. Ladies and gentlemen, let's send RFK Jr. where he belongs, straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
No, Zeus. You all notice? Do you all notice the way that this show has kind of transitioned since we started? it's so difficult to actually engage in having dialogue with MAGA. Now we just take the dialogue that we know MAGA is having because they gotta get it out, and then we bring it to the show, and so it's a place where MAGA really gets to see how the rest of the world feels about them, and it's proof. It's really proof that a lot of people are starting to wake up and realize Donald Trump is a fraudster, he's a crook, and his base is on the way of being totally obliterated, and it's because of all the wonderful folks like yourself. I'll give you another situation. And I hate Nick Fuentes, but when he's right, and I'm going to go ahead and lean into it a little bit. And this has to do with Erica Kirk, all right? And we can't because what Erica Kirk got's going on out there, ladies and gentlemen, it's highly suspicious, very questionable, and it definitely needs to be addressed.
I have to know, what do you think about Erica Kirk?
Well, I got a lot of flack for this.
Yeah.
I criticized Erica Kirk. But look, here's the thing about Erica. Nobody wants to say anything about Erica Kirk because she's a grieving widow. And so that's just decency. Nobody wants to attack a young woman who lost her husband to a vicious public execution and now has 2 fatherless children. That being said, nobody would be saying anything if she went home and grieved. But she didn't do that. She immediately assumed control of Turning Point USA, which already was one of the most influential, powerful, conservative nonprofits and for-profit entities in the conservative movement, and which became far more powerful after Charlie died because of his apparent martyrdom. So within 72 hours, she becomes Charlie's successor.
What?
And now she's in Washington, D.C., it seems, all the time, with J.D. Vance, with Donald Trump, with all these other powerful people. Now, I'm going to tell you what I don't like.
What's that?
I don't like when people take tragedy or a sob story or something that's emotionally impactful, and they use it as cover so you can't ask questions or criticize. And I feel like that's what is happening here. Like I said, if she were a widow grieving, no one should or could say anything about her. It would be out of line.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about Erica Kirk, the grieving widow. We're talking about Erica Kirk, the president of Turning Point USA and close personal friend of J.D. Vance, heir apparent of Maga. We can't ask questions about who this person is. We can't criticize or be skeptical of who she is because she cries. See, that I feel is manipulative, and that I don't like. So when people start to tell me for emotional or moral reasons, you can't ask that question, that's when I get even more suspicious. So Erica Kirk, I don't know her, and that's sort of the thing. Who really is she? I don't think anybody knows, actually.
Boom, boom, boom. And so that's Donald Trump's, that's somebody from the MAGA cult, Nick Fuentes, saying, obviously, something that I believe resonates with a lot of people. And, the truth comes from some of the strangest places. And that's why I tell people, especially MAGA, because you know what MAGA likes to do, especially when it comes to Epstein. You know what they'll say? You know what MAGA's new thing is with Epstein? They'll go, Zeus, will you really take the words of Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein? They're both convicted criminals. This is what their excuse is. So I want to make sure I at least answer this, MAGA. And I want to make this crystal clear to you. Yes, when I see 2 criminals communicating in writing, I consider that evidence. That's why they're criminals, right? Because what they're communicating about is probably stuff tied to crimes. And that could be used to get the conviction in a lot of cases. So yes, do I take the communications between Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell over Donald Trump's word? Well, let's just do some things out there. Does anybody know how many times it's been recorded that Donald Trump lied in his first term? Does anybody know how many times Donald Trump was recorded to have told lies or false misleading statements? Nick is not MAGA. Tanya, over 30,000 W to the chat. So we got a person that's a convicted criminal, found liable of committing SA, all right, and defamation, someone that's been found to have been committing decades worth of fraud, someone who's been impeached twice and who has been a recorded liar, lying over 30,000 times in his first term. And you want me to put them up against Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell's communications? I'll take their communications over that guy because you're not getting anything out of him, number one. Number two, the other thing is this, and I want a serious Trump voter. Tanya, maybe you can help me answer this question, Tanya. Tanya, could you come on up here? Or Tanya, you don't even have enough people that I could talk to. Tanya, I know what bothers you, and I'll say it, and then we'll go straight to judgment. What bothers you, Tanya, is the email that came out where we found out that Donald Trump, according to Epstein, was alone with a little girl in Epstein's house. That bothers you because there's no thing you can say. There's nothing you could ever say to anybody that actually has a brain to make that make sense. And you can't even call it out because I understand what's going on in the world you live in, Tanya. You've lied to yourselves. You lied to your family, your friends, your community about Donald Trump, because you've been defending him. And now you are at a place right now where if you come out and say, I got it wrong, you're going to have to go individually to all those people you've burned, harmed in the process of defending Donald Trump and really issue a heartfelt apology. And you're not capable of doing that. And because you're not capable of doing that, you're going to continue to go down this path of degradation along with this guy, Donald Trump. But Tanya, here's the thing. You and I both know that Donald Trump is in those Epstein files. Pam Bondi told him that. And you and I both know. Ain't no grown 40-something-year-old man should have been alone at Epstein's house with no little girl. You know that. But the difference between you and me is I can say it and you can't. And that's ultimately going to be the dividing line that determines the outcome of your fate. And people are going, well, Zeus, what is Tanya's fate? Ladies and gentlemen, that's the lake of fire warming up one more time. Tanya still worships Donald Trump. I think she does. If I got it wrong, I apologize. I think the comment you were sending was meant to be a dig at me, but if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I'll apologize. But until I get clarification, I'm going to treat it as such. Tanya, unfortunately, you are a vassal of transgression and hell will be your portion. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending a deranged Tanya, any other person still supporting Donald Trump, where they ultimately will end up straight to hell.
Silence, you Maga Damon.
W Zeus. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes my first part of the show where I lay it down like a carpenter. And there's nothing to, I guess, refute. If there's anything anyone feels I may have gotten wrong, you're more than welcome to send me a guest request and come up here and say, Zeus, you got it wrong. But the next part of the show, ladies and gentlemen, is truly about rehabilitation. And what we're looking for, honestly, is honest conversations from MAGA. I don't want to argue with MAGA about anything other than why are you still supporting Donald Trump? When you know what you know, if you're really as intelligent as you claim to be, why are you still supporting him? And don't bring up any question that you could honestly go and look up yourself to me, because it's getting annoying having to do it. They get in here and they ask Zeus, what is the inflation rate? Well, you go look it up. That's not what we're talking about. Zeus, how many people did Donald Trump deport in this term? And then, okay, you can go look all of that stuff up. But the point is this, why are his poll numbers tanking? MAGA? Why are people defecting from the cult? Why is Marjorie Taylor Greene, if everything you got, to the Trump voters out there, if all the knowledge and information you got is so good, why are people defecting from the cult right now? Why is he in every photograph with Epstein? Why did Epstein write Donald Trump's name down so many times? You don't got any answers for that. And you keep thinking the rest of the country is buying this. Well, if Trump was in it, Biden would have released it. Newsflash. No one even believes that anymore. That was a thing where people were like, yeah, that is maybe a point. But when you look at Pam Bondi lying about the release of the files and Kash Patel lying about the release of the files, And then you look at Donald Trump denying the files even existed, calling them a hoax. And then we get to a place in American history where there's actual laws on the book. The Epstein Transparency Act. It went from the House to the Senate to Trump's desk at record speed. I said, wow, this is not a hoax, MAGA. And I just played to you a clip of another Trump voter saying this isn't 5D chess. So be brave this morning and get your special behinds in this box and face judgment, all right? That's a W Zeus. They're never going to get in my box, by the way. I just scared them, ladies and gentlemen. He denied the list, not the files. Guy, what does that mean? Guy, I'm a little confused. Were you talking to me or are you talking to someone else in the comment section? Guy, are you talking to Big Zeus or are you talking to someone in the comment section? I look at that, ladies and gentlemen. We've already gotten reported already. Wow. Okay. You know what? To the folks that keep crying in the comment section.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want.
W, lady boss.
Okay, too.
Thank you.
But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Okay. A guy doesn't want to send a guest request. Mods, please do what you wish with a guy, all right? Because I don't want a guy in here poisoning my comment section with his lies and misinformation. It's disgusting. Good morning, Ange. How are you doing?
I'm okay. How are you doing?
I'm okay as well, minus the fact that this country is just in terrible shape because of Donald Trump.
Guy is definitely a Trump supporter. He's saying bye libs. We're not going anywhere. In fact, you are. You are going to get crushed in the midterms.
Thank you.
Crushed.
Tell him, Ange. Thank you for saying that.
His poll numbers are at what? 38%. I mean, you can't get much.
And it happened at record speed.
It did. It really did. And this whole thing with Mark Kelly is going to totally backfire. Mark Kelly, he's a hero. He's really a hero. He's been through a lot with his wife, with, Gabby Giffords, everything she's been through. Mm-hmm. He's very well respected. He's just going to make a total, dumb, out of himself. He already is. I mean, Trump is anyway.
He'll be bending the knee to Mark Kelly in short order. He'll be eating every single one of these words because everyone knows Trump is all talk. So are his supporters. All talk, no proof in the pudding, nothing.
Yeah, he will. And he bent the knee to Mom Donnie. We know that. We literally saw him practically wearing the same outfit after he met with him. I mean, I think he was wearing a scarf versus a turtleneck, but it was the same colors. I've never seen him dressed like
that. Yeah, I wish I had the full picture, but you.
I think everybody has seen it. I just wanted to point out that I personally have never seen him dressed like that until after that. I just wanted to clarify to people in the comments. Erica Kirk, she is not pregnant. No. What she was saying when she was talking in an interview with Meghan R. Kelly was, I can't stand her. That's a whole other story. But
it's the R. Kelly part that got me when you said that, but we can move on, I guess.
We can. We know we can move on. But she was just saying she was hoping she was, because she wanted to expand their family, because, that's really all of us, what us young women should be doing is focusing on family, not career. So what is she doing right now?
That's a good question. She's running around leading Turning Point, right? And so I don't talk about her. I can do the division that, sort of Nick Fuentes was trying to highlight, which is there's her, the grieving widow, and then there's the CEO of Turning Point. So when we direct our feedback, it's to the CEO, right?
Yes.
As the CEO.
I'll try to be careful with her. I've gotten some comments about, she's a grieving widow and everybody grieves differently. Well, I'm sorry, but his body wasn't even cold, and she was basically throwing a rally and grifting, and I find that completely disgusting. I really do. So, I mean, say what you want. Everybody does grieve differently, but I can tell you, if my husband passed, I'm not going to be out having a rally and trying to make money off him and the pyrotechnics and everything else. It's just totally embarrassing. And the pleather pants with JD.
Yeah.
I mean, I think she has first lady aspirations. I think that
Yeah.
this is me, TikTok educational purposes only. My thoughts are I don't really think JD's going to make it too far into this marriage that he's in. I mean, I'm sorry, you don't grab a woman by the waist like that and pull her in.
She said that's how she hugs, and if anyone has a problem with the way that she hugs, then maybe you need a hug, and so maybe it's, you know what I'm saying, maybe you need a hug.
I mean, my husband's not a jealous man, but I think if he saw that, he would be like, it was JD just grabbing her by the hips, almost like
Well,
thrusting.
she said maybe she should have grabbed his, his cheeks. Doesn't that sound like a grieving widow?
No. And this was what? I mean, come on, guys. You can all jump on me about everybody grieves differently, but let's just get real. Let's just get real. You know, when my dad passed, my mom is 6 years later still reading books on grieving. Just cut it out. She needs to just cut it out. But okay, if you want me, I'll leave her alone. But the whole JD Vance and everything, and Trump is really just tanking. Every day he's just tanking. And I really think this thing with Mark Kelly is just going to tank him even more. So just let him do it, guys. Just let him do it. The economy is just in the toilet.
Yeah.
Let's just face it. If you're coming to me in my live and you're saying that this economy is great, you're a liar. You're a straight up liar. I want receipts. I want to see your grocery receipts right now. I went to Dunkin' Donuts. I don't usually do this.
Yeah.
Zeus.
Yeah.
Zeus. 2 medium coffees.
At least
Iced
$8.
coffees.
$8. 2 medium coffee. $8. Half, because it couldn't be any more than that. It can't be any more than $8.
No, 2 medium iced coffees cost me $13.09. Under Joe Biden, Joe Biden, it was under $8.
Wow.
So I'm sorry. So we don't do that. We make things at home now.
Yeah. Wow.
Which is, we could just go out. I'm not going to lie and just grab some from the grocery store and not even really grab. Look at the price. We would just grab it. And now, we do okay. And we're stopping and looking at every little penny.
Wow.
Trying to. It's just ridiculous. And for all of you MAGA, I don't want you coming into my live anymore telling me the groceries are the same without your receipts. I'm not going to listen to you.
Yeah, because they lie and we know that that's where they have to be now. They just have to start lying about obvious things, and enough is enough. All right, but we know.
And I watch you every day try to get them up here, and we all know why they won't come up. They don't have a leg. They don't have a leg to stand on. What are they going to say? This man has done nothing. He said he was going to stop wars. He's starting wars. Zeus, I mean, he's everything. All the campaign promises. Which one has he fulfilled? I can't think of any that he has fulfilled.
I can't. I honestly, and I had a serious conversation with myself because I could be honest with myself in ways you can't be with other people. And I said, has he done anything that's actually helped Americans since he's gotten into office that we can actually all say congrats Donald Trump? Because Ange, one of the things is I don't want to be a hater. All right, because a hater to me is a weak person. You just don't want to see someone doing great in life and you just pick at everything. I don't want to be that. If Donald Trump legitimately has done something good, I want to give him credit. And the best thing that I've heard so far is, Hoodlum was here and he said he saved the TikTok thing. And I thought to myself, and I said, honestly, I wouldn't have to be on TikTok if this man wasn't in the White House like this. And TikTok probably wouldn't even be an issue. because we wouldn't be dealing with all this misinformation and disinformation. So in a way, it's actually no points for Donald Trump. Honestly, a lot of us wouldn't have had to get on TikTok and start fighting these folks with their lies. You know what I mean? Yeah, and he didn't save it. He didn't save it. He saved himself.
When were you talking to Hoodie? Where was I? I must have missed it. How did you get through that? I can't deal with him, but God bless you. You have the patience of a saint.
I try.
You really do. But you keep doing the work because I'm out of patience. I used to say, I think I have as much patience as Zeus. No,
Yeah.
I don't. So I've been told you're not nice anymore, Angela. I got told that, and it's not a good look on you. And some other things from people on the right who have no business judging me because they act like raging lunatics.
If there's anyone on the right that thinks Ange needs to not be, what did you say? They said they need you're being too mean. If there's anyone on the right that thinks Ange is being too mean, please send us a guest request. And what I'll do is I'll mute for a good 2 minutes just to let them get it out, and then we'll deal with them. But I don't think anyone serious would say such a thing to you.
They're not going to say it to my face,
Yeah.
but that's okay. That's neither here nor there.
Fair enough.
But I'm going to go,
All right.
and thank you for having
You're
me
welcome.
up. And I wish you could get more demons up and really get through to them. You know, you are the whisperer to them more than anybody else.
Thank
so
you.
best of luck to you,
right.
and I'll see you soon. Thanks for having me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, W's in the chat. The beautiful Ange, no lies detected. Ange Angel is hilarious. Oh, so you got Tiny Tank Top Tim's attention. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, it does look like we won the appeal. I won my appeal. So we'll keep rocking and rolling and cooking and booking like we've been doing. Now, Ange was right. Maybe it's time. Are there any Trump voters out there? Identify yourselves. Any Trump voters out there brave enough to get in the comment section? I mean, not the comment section. Yeah. Send me a guest request. Not Tiny Tank Top Tom. Because your questions are just limited to the comment section, all right? And I've allowed that, and that's me being nice. But seriously, where's the MAGA men at? Where are the conservative women at? Where are y'all at? They don't want to. We're fed up. We're fed up. Ange, MAGA, Zeus, the MAGA whisperer. Yeah. Look at it. It's crickets out here. Val says, "Tiny Tank Top Tom, go fix a sink." Oh my gosh. Who is this, ladies and gentlemen? Who is this? He made it leak. Uh-oh. MAGA Queen doesn't want to come talk to Big Zeus anymore because we've exposed her. Good morning, Paul Montoya. Good morning. Paul.
Good morning, Zeus. Sorry.
How are you?
I'm good. Sorry, I didn't mean to come up.
Oh.
I was just wondering, did you hear that letter that Mike Johnson sent out to all the priests and people of faith?
What was the letter? No. What is it about?
It's about they were basically campaigning for the midterms, and it was a 4-page letter that they sent out with a questionnaire at the end, but just about every paragraph has a thing to send 5, 10, 50, 100, up to $1,300 in every other paragraph. I just thought it was hilarious.
Wow. So he's grifting priests. Is that what you're saying, Mike Johnson is? Wow.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow. I'm not shocked. Shocked because, like I say, Trump voters are some of the biggest, most gullible suckers on the face of the earth. But, if they want to give up their money in the hope of making it into heaven, let them do it. All right. Let them do it. All right. But listen, Paul, I appreciate you coming up here. All right. And we're going to move it along.
Thanks,
all right.
Zeus.
Thank you for coming up.
All right.
Yeah, he is.
You're welcome. Love your show.
Love you.
Bye.
Love you too, bro. Thanks. All right, let's move it along. Oh, who do we got next, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning, Bounce. Welcome. Base. Yeah. Hi, Bounce. How are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. Another day in the kingdom tending to the affairs as usual.
I know. Aren't you just happy that they dropped the charges against Letitia James?
I sure am.
Dang, guess what, Dang? She's an educated black woman. That's what she is.
W Bounce and Dame knows that.
And guess what else, though?
What's
I
that?
think that the MAGA people who bought into Bitcoin, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Into Trump and Melania's coins, you know,
Yeah.
the ones you can't really spend.
Yeah.
They took a hard dive.
Wow.
The family has lost, they say, almost $1 billion.
Oh, say it ain't so.
It's
Wow.
so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you get, right? You get what you pay for, right?
You get what you pay for.
Wow.
We do. And now when he goes after Kelly, that's going to be the end for
You think
MAGA.
so? You
Yeah.
think so?
I think Hegseth will have to do maybe 200 push-ups because he couldn't do 50. So I'm just wondering, can he do 200 in a pink tutu? You think he can do that?
Hey, anything is possible with the demon, because when a demon possesses you, you get superhero strength, right? Maybe. I don't know. But it'll be nice to see all of them, honestly, though, face real justice and accountability, because what they've done to this country, Bounce, honestly, it's truly
It's
unforgivable.
disgusting.
Yeah.
You know, I have to feed my mom a certain way because she
Yeah.
has chronic kidney disease. And guess what, Dave? My mama, she raised me to be a strong black woman and
Amen.
respect black women
Amen.
and respect all women.
Your mama raised you right.
Yeah.
She raised you right, Bounce.
Yes, she did. And so because my mother has to eat a certain way, I have to buy her separate food from what I buy at the store for the rest of the family.
Oh.
Because you have to keep the sodium down.
Yeah.
Well, I bought my mom and the potassium, and her prescriptions have gone sky high. So we're paying for that. But
Wow.
we do okay taking care of mama. But her turkey breast, because she has to have one that's not soaked in salt and all that kind of stuff. I paid $35 just for a turkey breast.
Wow. I thought our grocery prices, honestly, because I heard Donald Trump mentioning it early in the year, our grocery prices, they're supposed to be going down. And as a matter of fact, he said they actually are down. You could get a Walmart, what did he say? Thanksgiving dinner, 25% cheaper.
No. Not well, see, when you have people that have issues like people who have had transplants, heart transplant, people on dialysis,
Yeah.
their food, you can't give them processed food. Everything has to be fresh.
Wow.
No canned string beans, none of that stuff, no matter if they tell you it has less sodium in it.
Wow.
So for just to make her meal by itself, cost me $75 just for her food.
Wow.
Just for one day for Thanksgiving. So the rest of the family, of course, I had to buy their food. So normally I would pay like maybe $150, $160 for the whole entire family. I paid $237 for my Thanksgiving dinner.
Wow.
And the only person that eats turkey is my mama. We don't really eat turkey. So I bought turkey wings because you can cook those really good.
Yeah.
Those were $13 a package.
Wow.
And that's the truth.
So your grocery prices, in where you're at, you're still saying you're not seeing what Donald Trump is saying when it comes.
I'm in California, sir.
Well, you know what it is out here. Obviously, everything's a little more expensive, but you're still seeing it wherever. What part of Cali are you in again? You don't have to say it. Let's just keep it A1, all right? The whole point.
I'm in the rich part of Cali, Dave. Hello.
Yeah. But still, if the president of the United States says grocery prices are going down, that means wherever you're at in the country, guess what? They should be going down. And that's not the reality that a lot of us are seeing. You're the second person that got up in here and said that. Yeah, you're right. W Lady Boss. Yay area.
So, my electric bill is high as all get up. So I pay about maybe $500 and something a month just for electricity.
Unbelievable.
Because my mother doesn't qualify for, you know, when you have medical devices in the house.
Yeah.
She doesn't qualify for the discount because of the income. So
they just taking the money that she get and doing whatever they want with it still because they don't care about us.
No.
Oh wow.
No.
It really does bother me, Bounce, that we're in this situation. And while you're making ends meet the way you have to make them, he's in the White House, living like a king, going to Mar-a-Lago, eating like a king and stuff like that. Isn't that disgusting? Isn't that vile?
It is. And now his little granddaughter, they done taught her how to grift. She got a t-shirt, sweater, whatever.
Wow.
And she's grifting. So I think it's just in the blood that they grift. Hey, Dame, what do you think about that? Because, you always got something to say to me, Dame. You always got something to say to me. But one thing that I don't do
What's that?
is fake like I respect the black community and I respect black women.
Tell him.
So when I was saying about his mother, just to be clear, I said, your mother's a black woman. And if your mother's a black woman, then she didn't do a good job teaching you how to respect other black women. No matter what you think about them or how you think about them, you should never disrespect black women on your panel.
And that's the land. That's the laws of the land. That's the laws of the land. And I hope he could take that feedback you gave him, Bounce, and honestly use it to become a better person. All right? Because
one other thing I got to tell you about Kenneth. You know Kenneth?
Yeah, I know of Kenneth. Yeah, what about...
Okay, Kenneth he was on his live yesterday, and he said his wife put him out the house, and he don't have Thanksgiving dinner, and he let me come up, and I told him he could go to 7-Eleven and get him some hot wings.
Oh, Bounce, but Bounce, come on, that's a sad story.
It's not sad.
It's a sad story when the man gets kicked out of his house like that before Thanksgiving. I mean, he need a place to put his head down at night and stuff like that. Come on, Bounce, you don't want to show a brother some love in the middle of all of this now?
No, he could get in his truck. Ain't he a trucker? And he can start driving, and you can see the back of his head.
Bounce. I keep telling people, all of these MAGA relationships, they're going to end up falling apart because as the Trump administration continues to crumble, the pressure is actually going to start happening at home too, because the wife is looking at the husband in most cases and they're going, I'm not really into all of that MAGA behavior. And it's turning me off. I'd rather go hang out with Big Zeus.
Yes, and that's why I have to tell you before I go, Mama says hello.
Okay,
and
thank you.
She says that you are very handsome.
Thank you, Mom.
Your skin is smooth as a baby's
Thank
behind.
you, Mom. Bounce.
That's all I wanted to say.
All right, love you too. Ladies and gentlemen, W's in the chat for Bounce No Lies Detected. Wow. I got you. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen. As you all can see, we are cooking and booking this morning. And, are there any Trump voters out there? Please identify yourselves. Do we have any Trump voters? Good morning, Glenn. Welcome to the show. How can I help you? Glenn, are you there? Going once. All right, sounds like Glenn. How do I get Glenn out of my box? Glenn, you got a lot going on. All right, that's a huge W, Zeus. It doesn't take long. All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Who do we have here? Luis, good morning. Welcome to the show. How can I help you? Luis.
Good, that's what we like to hear.
I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for getting it done. That was quick.
Have a great Thanksgiving.
You too.
All right, well, it looks like Luis is busy, ladies and gentlemen. Luis, keep up the great Christmas or Thanksgiving shopping, all right? I think that's what you were doing. All right, we are once again going back to the, let's see, what do we got out here, ladies and gentlemen? Puma Cat, good morning. Welcome to the show. Who do we have next? Good morning, G-Man. Wow. We are having an interesting lineup, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, jazzing it up. Welcome. Jazzing it up. Good morning. How are you?
I'm
Happy
doing good.
holidays.
I'm doing good.
Welcome.
Thank
Yes.
you.
All right. Well,
So MTG, bad built Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't trust her as far as I can throw her. I wanted to comment on her a while back when she was mentioned. I'm not giving her flowers for anything. She doesn't deserve it. Not even a little. Not as she couldn't get a pedal from me. And she is only doing what she's doing because Donald Trump wouldn't reward her for her bad behavior. He would not give the dog a bone. So now she wants to act like she's on the right side of history and like she's standing for something. I don't trust her because she was willing to let these girls' voices go unheard. She was willing to condone his bad behavior and look the other way. She was willing to accept whatever rewards he was willing to give her until she realized the boys are not on her team. When his misogyny exceeded her loyalty, that was when she was like, "Oh, I'm doing this for nothing."
Yeah, I mean,
now all of a sudden she cares. Like, it's sickening to me. To be honest,
you're right. You're right, ladies and gentlemen. W jazzing it up. Now, what do you say though? Here's what I've heard, and you tell me what you possibly could think about it. Do you think she really believed that Trump wasn't in those e-files, or do you think she might have, to a certain degree, thought he was in there? Because the narrative is a lot of the Trump voters, they really didn't think Trump was in the files, and so that's why they continue to support him.
I honestly don't believe that she ever put it past him to not be in it. I think she was obviously she might not have had solid proof if she didn't have access to that information, but I know that she was around him enough to know very well what he was capable of, and she chose to ignore it until it benefited her to no longer ignore it. She's a performative beast. And on top of that, she's racist. She is like, we're not going to forget all of her super racial undertones trying to go toe to toe with one of the most overqualified Congress members, Jasmine Crockett. And now she wants to curl up by Jasmine Crockett's feet because she needs somebody on her team. Amen. And Jasmine Crockett is classy enough to give MTG some kind of grace, but I wouldn't. She would never get a lick of support from me after the things that she said and done on the floor. And the same, like, I mean, she's a political pick-me, just like Omarosa, just like the little weird blonde Barbie doll that excuses all of Trump's wrongdoings in those press conference rooms.
Caroline Lyon Levitt.
Yeah, her. Oh my God. I mean, I'm going to be clear.
Yeah.
She's giving, I'm regularly under Donald Trump's desk. That's what she's giving. I'm just being real. Like, because what do you have to gain from excusing this man's behavior? You have no backbone. You have no moral compass. And you just lie. You get paid you're doing more than getting paid to lie. There's something else you're doing.
Yeah.
Either you're getting some kind of protection from him, like and don't even get me started on Erica Kirk. The same with her.
You don't buy Erica?
No, not at all. Not at all. I don't. She's not moving like somebody who's grieving. And yes, everybody grieves differently.
True.
But her ties to Trump, her ties to, like, is too coincidental.
Yeah.
From her being the pageant girl and the organization she had where all those children went missing. Like, there is no way that any of this happened by accident. We are literally watching like America be a reality TV show in front of everyone's eyes. And 10, 20 years from now, when my kids are finally grown, they're going to have a documentary out, probably a whole movie depicting everything and how this whole crap fest started from beginning to the end. And it's all finally going to make sense to us all. But it's going to be too late by then. I mean,
yeah. No,
What's
you're
gonna
right.
happen 30 years from now? Like, we're gonna look back and remember all this and be like, wow, we were living in some wild times, and it's only gonna get worse.
Yeah, I think even now there's going to be a lot of people that are just flat out going to deny they voted for Donald Trump. Uh, Especially as we get closer and closer to the files getting released. I don't know, is there like 27 days or so before the rubber really needs to meet the road? And he could release the files a lot sooner, but yeah, I believe everybody that was on this app pretending like they were Trump supporters, they're going to have some sort of excuse and they're going to try to make it and say, "Oh no, I didn't support Donald Trump." No, 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 no. That's going to be the thing.
Yeah, it's no different than the generation of people who were throwing trash and obscenities at Ruby Bridges when she was entering a school for the first time to desegregate. Is people always, I mean, through history, they distance themselves from the most egregious things that have happened in history. We are sitting in rooms right now with people whose grandparents participated in one of the most disgusting things that's ever happened to groups of people in this country.
Facts.
And, they're going to continue to distance themselves because they know as they're doing it that it's wrong. They know that if they don't come out being on the top and the ones winning, that they're going to be able to distance themselves. And people need to stop giving people like that grace. We have to stop. We have to highlight their wrongdoing so that it doesn't happen again, because they're breeding people who think and act the same way that they do. The only glimpse of hope that we have is the generation after Gen Z and Gen Z itself. Gen Z is starting to see things for what they are. They don't really have as much support as they should, but I do have hope in my kids' generation that things will turn around.
Well, let's hope for the best, honestly, but it's sad because they've been subjected to a lot, starting with the lockdowns, right? And then just the whole decade-long experience we've all had to deal with Donald Trump. I mean, I'm imagining this has done a huge number on a lot of the younger minds, but hopefully, we can get them on the right path before it's too late. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I sure hope so.
Right.
I hope so. But thank you. Your show is amazing. I share it with my mom all the time. I love when you send them to hell.
Thank you.
That's my favorite part.
W jazzing it up. She's right, though. And we got to do that. And tell your mom I said hello, all right? Thank you so much, all right? She raised an amazing daughter, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, W jazzing it up. Angus, you never heard Angus. You can't bust a grape in a fruit fight, Angus. All right, so please knock it off. Don't get in here and start doing all that tough talk. All right, that's my good friend jazzing it. Oh, all right. Do we have anybody out there that is a Trump voter? Anybody out there still worshiping Donald Trump? Please send Big Zeus a guest request, and what we'll do is we'll try our best to hear you out. All right. I'm the nicest person on. Well, I don't want to say that because there's 3 H's. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but you get it. I'm pretty nice to Maga. And what we want, sometimes I should say, what we want to do is we want to hear from you. We want you to get up here with your whatever you have left upstairs. The brain cells, they're not even fully charged. There's probably 1 or 2 of them left at this moment. And bring whatever information you have to all of us, right? Because we want them to tell us just straight up, why are you still in the cult? Bondi is done. Oh, Kimmy, please, Kimmy, please, Kimmy. No, Kimmy. No, Kimmy. No, you can't. No, you don't get to say that. You don't get to say that. You are in the cult, and you have to basically, until you denounce your support for Donald Trump, you don't get to criticize your fellow cult members. You have to swallow it hook, line, and sinker, and you have to swallow it with pride, because what we don't want to do is get it confused about what side you are on. Bondi is Donald Trump's hand-picked attorney general. How dare you go against your dear leader, Kimmy, please. If you don't stop it, I might have to report you to the FBI. This is W. Zeus. I might have to. Good morning, Poetivity. Nice to see you. Welcome. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Real great, actually, now that you're here.
That's
thank
nice.
you. Yeah.
I had a couple questions just to kind of demonstrate, like, to the people that still support him, like, what's the difference between him and a good man? So you're a good man.
Right.
I know.
Well, I try.
Yeah, you're working on it really hard, and you're doing a great job. And so, and you're handsome and appealing to women and all of that. And so what I was thinking was, if you were a pageant owner, Zeus, and you knew that the girls were getting dressed and ready, down a teenage pageant owner even.
Yeah.
What would you do to make sure that they were all comfortable and getting prepared properly? Like, would you walk in to their dressing room?
No, because you gotta
What
have.
would you do?
You would have. I would call it internal controls in place, right? To make sure the right folks who need to be in such a space with them, whatever that is, they're there. But I would be totally, and as far as I wouldn't even be in that kind of industry, to be honest with you, Poetivity, because it's just such an. It's not just. It's not for me. But you should have responsible, and you would say women, right? That could actually go in there and help facilitate whatever needs to be facilitated. Because if it wasn't that, then I would have questions about the intentions of the people in there, to a certain degree. Because that's what it is. These are vulnerable children, right?
Right.
And you know that it's not a good look for a person to be going in there, a guy especially, and doing what Donald Trump did.
Right. Absolutely. And I knew that would be your answer, that you would put women in place who were trustworthy, who would be able to oversee and knew what the girls were supposed to be doing, and make sure that they were all, put together right for whatever part of the contest it was. And I knew you wouldn't go backstage and peer on it yourself.
Yeah, no, guys got to understand things like the imbalance of power, so to speak, because we men, and there's a lot of evidence, men are abusive people, all right? And so when you understand that, you got to think ahead and say, all right, that's not a good space for me to be in, all right? Because the power dynamic isn't correct, especially if you're the owner. You know what I mean?
Right. So that's one thing that the Magas are excusing. And the other question I had was about the G20. Did you know that G20 happened this past week?
No, really?
Yeah, it happened. It was in South Africa. And
I heard about it happening. Okay, I just didn't keep up with it.
and Midas Touch just covered it, and they covered like what people were saying about the United States.
Because Trump didn't send anyone there. That's the thing, right? He didn't.
No, he didn't. He's supposed to show up. Like all the leaders are supposed to show up, and he didn't show up. He wasn't there, and he said the reason he wasn't going was because they were killing the YT farmers in South Africa, and so he wasn't going to show up. So anyway, we were totally humiliated on the world stage, and he also didn't show up for like the climate conference. You're a good man, Zeus. What would have been your decisions about those two major conferences that actually involve the United States and are really important that we have some input on?
I definitely would have made it a priority to be there, and then if I wasn't going to be there, I would definitely make sure there's adequate coverage for me in place of me. You know what I mean? Because whether it's South Africa or I think the climate thing, wasn't that the one Gavin Newsom went to in like Colombia or whatever? Yeah, those are things that if we really truly are priding ourselves on being the leaders of the free world, the most powerful country on the planet, then we need to actually represent that in those spaces. And so that's what I would have done. I would have made sure I did everything I could to make the United States proud of the world proud of the United States too. That's what I would have done.
Yeah, I knew you would have a good answer because you're a good man. And I'm really discouraged and saddened that so many people were fooled by such a bad man.
Oh,
don't say. I don't even know how his approval rating is still 38%. Like, how does he still have 38% of anything? Like,
because Poetivity. Isn't 10 years a long time to be in a very bad and abusive relationship? Is that a long time?
Yes, it's huge. And you know what he's done? There's a thing that narcissists do when you divorce them, and they do something called parental alienation syndrome. And that's where they actually use stuff to turn what the children against the other parent, who was just the person trying to escape the narcissistic abuse,
Yeah.
And Donald Trump has pulled alienation syndrome on the entire Republican Party. Like, they have turned against their own country, and they have become destructive to the country and harmful and abusive too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's so true. W Poetivity. But you know what? They brought it on themselves. They brought it on themselves at the end of the day, and where we're going to end up with a lot of them. And I keep saying this: I personally do not think a lot of these folks who are still supporting Donald Trump, by the time midterms come around, they're not going to be here. He's single-handedly destroying them. One executive order, one policy after another, each one of them designed to totally destroy the base. That's how I see it.
That's how I see it too. And the thing is that a lot of people say he's really stupid and he's just making stupid decisions. But a stupid person making stupid decisions would accidentally make some decisions that were good, right? And positive. And there's not one that he's making. So I think he's just actually like an evil genius.
Yeah.
Like, and he's just like destroying us purposefully and with intent, for himself.
Yeah. I stand with you on that one, right? Because I don't understand how a person could vote for him 3 times, knowing the path of destruction, the wake of chaos that he's caused already, and then you still go out there and do it. Yeah, something's wrong with you. Because, like you said, I don't think he's accidentally leading people to the Capitol on January 6th. You know what I mean? No. That was well thought out. That was well planned.
Yep. His agenda is corrupt and purposeful, and like I wish he was stupid, because then we would accidentally get something good done, you know.
Yeah. Well, all we can do is hope that eventually this thing will be a thing of the past, and maybe it will be as more Republicans do the right thing and resign. All right?
Yeah.
Well, listen, Poetivity, it was a great checking in with you this lovely, what is it today? Tuesday morning, all right? I'm losing track of the
thank
days.
you for having me up, Zeus.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And I really love your show. As always, you do a great job all the time. And, there's a lot of men trying to say they're just as handsome as you. And, it's really sad. It's really sad.
Thank you. Thank you, Poetivity. You know what? I mean that seriously from the bottom of my heart. You didn't have to say that, but you put a lot of people in their place where they belong, and I appreciate that. You always have a soft spot in my heart. Thank you. No, Eugene, please.
All right.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to Poetivity. No lies detected. Oh, we getting somewhere, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting somewhere. Oh, yeah. Do we have anybody out there that's supporting Donald Trump? The show, we don't got all day to do this. Send the best demon, ladies and gentlemen. Send the live, if you can, to the strongest demon on TikTok, and let's get them into the kingdom. And let's see if they can at least give us something that we can all meditate on before the show ends. Because, oh, you are here? Oh, Open Eyes 78. All right, come on up here. This is, ladies and gentlemen, we might have a demon. We might have a fish on the hook, so to speak. Open Eyes, I sent you a guest request. Why don't you come on up here, accept it? Go find a quiet place, maybe wherever you reside at, and let's have this conversation. Open Eyes, where did you go? Going once. Let's give him a chance. Where did Open Eyes go? He said, yes, I'm here. Send me a guest request. All right. Where did he go? Where did they go? Yes, I'm here. This is crazy, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Well, I guess Open Eyes had a change of heart, and that makes sense. All right. When you confronted with reality, it all makes sense. All right. Well, we'll move on, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna move it on. All right. Wow. What a great show. Good morning. Good morning, Takesha. Welcome.
Good morning. I ain't gonna be but a second because I'm coughing today. But I just wanted you to know I came up here to be Mrs. Zeus.
Oh, okay.
Yesterday in Angie's Live, Nutty was showing off his Christmas trees, right? And guess what Ange said?
What'd she say?
I changed my mind, Nutty. you're more handsome than Zeus. You are the handsomest man over Zeus. I said, what? Because of some Christmas decorations? I said, Ange, I'm gonna tell. She said, I'm sorry, but he is more handsome than Zeus. So, Zeus, I came up to tell you that yesterday, while Ange was trying to be so good in your live today, she said Nutty was more handsome because of his Christmas trees, Zeus. Treason.
It's treason at the highest order.
I had to let you know, Zeus. I kept saying, no, he's not. But she kept on, Zeus. It was Ange. It was Ange, Zeus. Yeah.
W Takesha. And I trust Takesha's word.
Yeah.
Takesha,
she said it, Zeus. Yeah, I told him I was going to tell. Yeah.
I'm hurt. I'm really hurt.
It happened, Zeus. I was shocked. I said, if it takes Christmas decorations to turn your head, Ange, this is sad. Yeah.
Ange did this.
Yeah.
The
Ange did it.
the same Ange that just got into my box, and we
Yes.
had a pleasant. We had a very pleasant conversation.
It was her. It was her. Yes. She said it, Zeus.
I'm so hurt, Takesha.
Yeah.
Is Nutty here? Is Nutty?
I
here?
don't know, but is Ange here? Because she doesn't even have any redemption when it comes to those words, Zeus.
Yeah. I don't want to jump to conclusions, though, Takesha.
I wouldn't lie to you, Zeus.
Is Nutty here? Let me see if
I don't know. See if he's here, Zeus.
Oh, he is.
Pull him up.
Excuse me for a second, ladies and gentlemen. I have to take care of something. Hey, Nutty. Hey, Nutty.
Hello, little brother. How you doing?
Don't let him butter you up, Zeus, with that little brother stuff.
Takesha, go, bro. Goodbye.
Are you at home, Nutty?
Yes, I'm at home.
All right, I'm gonna put you in the big screen if you don't mind. Takesha said you have a Christmas tree. If you don't mind, could you show us that Christmas tree real quick?
So before I do that, yes, I will do that for sure.
If it's a good looking tree, I might change my opinion, but this better be the best looking tree I've ever seen.
But we get on Maga when they finally tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to come to the light, Zeus, and just finally admit to the fact that it is what it is.
This is sad. And right before Thanksgiving, the devil. Where's the red at? Oh, you got two trees. Okay, I don't see a star on top of it or anything like that. You got the snow hanging. I don't see any snow under. I don't even see any presents. That's three.
I'm on your side, Zeus. I am not impressed. It does not make him the most handsome, and I refuse to let them try to give him your title because of a Christmas tree.
No, okay.
So it's not.
So the tree ain't even fully done then. So
no, it's not fully done. That one's gonna have the. That one's gonna have the red.
treason. We got treason happening. And let me ask a question. What made you decide to? Let me go ahead and get you out of the way. All right, we don't need to see anything else coming from Nutty.
Takesha is messy.
How many times have I told you I have a zero tolerance for treason?
Well, you have a zero tolerance for truth when it comes to that because we all know. See, I don't have to get up here and tell someone how handsome I am. I just am. I am.
No, you're not.
I am the entire Snickers bar.
You're not handsome, Nutty.
Okay, Takesha. That's you, baby girl. That's you. I mean, I can't help it. I can't help it. See, listen. Bounce's mama did say that you were a handsome guy, but she did say that I was the most handsome guy.
Oh my God! Now you're lying on the lady.
All right.
No,
hey, Nutty.
But I
Nutty.
actually. Yeah.
Let me
what's
see.
Up, man?
Is Ange here? Is Ange here? Because I don't want to repeat myself, but I think it's time.
Get it straight, Zeus. Get it straight.
Takesha, go to bed.
Get it straight, Zeus.
Go to bed, Takesha. You messy.
Ange is nowhere to be found. Look at that. Ange is nowhere to be found. You come in. Ain't that something? So, well,
So can I have my time, or are we? Is this the
Oh, you're gonna get your
Takesha
time.
show?
Oh, you're gonna get as much time as you need. Yeah, don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it.
That don't sound right. Wait a minute,
He gonna
Zeus. That
get
don't
he gonna
sound
he gonna
right.
get he's gonna get as much because you know what's so sad about this. I was in that live for at least 2 or 3 hours. Not one time did he show me the tree, did he?
Zeus,
He didn't show.
I summoned you and everything,
Yeah.
and I said, "Where is Zeus?" Because I didn't
I
want to
was
be
busy.
messy.
I was
Zeus.
about my father's business.
Listen, Zeus, I didn't want to be messy, but when they go behind your back and
Yeah.
say things, Zeus,
I'm-
I gotta step up for you, friend.
People
How
are
much you
saying,
paying for pizza?
but he's a Democrat and he supports you in all your shows. Just don't do it to him. That's what I hear people saying. But he should have thought of that before he decided to let the devil use him,
You sure should, Zeus.
right?
I agree.
So Nutty, I got to do something to you.
Well, let me say what I say first.
No. Your actions have already said everything.
Because
Words.
I-
But Zeus, let him go and say what he got to say. Be nice. It's the holiday season.
So Takesha,
But he
zip
said
your lip. Zip your lip.
Oh, I'm trying to take up for you, and you go. Okay.
So we have lost a queen in our community,
Who?
Miss Viola Fletcher. Now that name doesn't sound familiar, but let me tell you about Miss Viola Fletcher.
Who?
Or
Wait. So we're talking about something else?
yeah, that's what I wanted to. I want to just pay respects.
Oh,
to,
who's doing that? Who's doing all that
we
right
call
there?
her Mother Fletcher.
Who's doing all that? I didn't turn that on.
Zeus.
I didn't do it.
No, Zeus.
Spirit is willing.
No,
but
Zeus.
The spirit is willing, but the
He
flesh
finna
is
tell
weak.
us something about something for
Ladies
real.
and gentlemen, that's I'm so sorry, Takesha. I'm so sorry. Oh Lord, have mercy, the demon he took over. Ladies and gentlemen, we gotta send Nutty. Takesha, please come on back up here. Don't come on back up here, Takesha. I wasn't done. You come on back up here. But we gotta get rid of that demon. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Nutty going someplace
You
that
got your friend.
I didn't do it. Let it burn. Let it burn. Let it burn. Let it burn. It's still burning. It's still burning. I can't hear nothing. He lied. And that ain't gonna save him, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen. He's still burning. He's still burning. Fair enough. All right. Dunk him again. Dunk him. Push him to the bottom. Don't let him up. All right. We took care of that. All right,
Zeus,
Takesha,
Zeus.
I'm back. I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. And that's a huge W, Zeus. Nobody ever, and let this be a lesson that resonates throughout the kingdom. Please, I don't want to hear another story of sedition, because sedition, there should be punishment for that, right, Takesha? There's punish.
Zeus.
And I hate to say it, but
Zeus.
I'd hate to say to give him the Mike Pence treatment, but
Zeus.
okay, sorry.
Listen to me, Zeus.
I'm getting angry.
Now, Netta was finna tell us about somebody that passed. Now, you could have let that man get through and sent him after that. Now, Zeus, stop it.
All right.
We already know you the most handsome, so you don't need to get offended by that. But let that man tell us what's going
Listen,
on.
I haven't laughed like that in a long time.
I just want
Zeus
to
crazy, man. Zeus is crazy.
and I'm so sorry because normally I'm so just doing my show, but and again I'm not perfect, you know what I mean. And for me to hear stuff like that, it really does. I could hold a call out live now that I think about it. I should host a call out live and just start going down the rank. Until we start getting folks to realize that stuff and behavior like this, whether I'm on the show or not, if I catch wind of it again,
anyways, Zeus. Anyways,
because I am the wind.
Thank you, Takesha. And ladies and gentlemen, let's show Takesha some love. That's why you always got to be prayed and saved and, prayed up like that with the holy oil, because the devil is always looking for a way in, and it's always your own that'll do you in. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, can we get serious now?
If you would quit playing around on TikTok, we can always. The show is always serious. But honestly,
I'm not the one.
Where's the apology?
I'm not the one that said anything. I mean, I just am what I am. I'm not the one that said it. Now
That's
you
that.
notice,
That's that spirit of Adam right
but
there.
see,
You see that, Takesha?
you
Can you
notice
address
what
that? That's that
Takesha
Adam
said.
spirit.
You
It's
notice
not
what
me. It's a
Takesha said.
woman you gave me,
She
God.
said,
You
she
know,
said,
sometimes, Zeus,
and
sometimes you gotta let people live in their own reality. So let him enjoy his time, okay?
she said, and said, but and is correct, but and still said it. So anyway, let's get serious for a second.
I almost
Miss
threw up.
Miss Viola Fletcher, affectionately known as Mother Fletcher, she passed away. She was 111 years old. She was one of the last two survivors of the Tulsa massacre, and so
Okay.
I don't think people understand the fact that that's history that we've lost. Such a beautiful woman. I wish I could have met her. And so there's one other survivor. Miss Fletcher was born in 1914. Woodrow Wilson. Put that in perspective.
Wow.
Woodrow Wilson, the 28th president of the United States, was in office when she was born. So we've lost her. She's going on to be with the Lord. And, I think we just should pay our respects because she witnessed the massacre.
Wow. Yeah, I'm looking
She
at her.
was
Wow.
she was
45 minutes
seven.
ago.
She was 7 years old when it happened. When it happened, she was 7 years old. And the fact that someone's still here, there's one other survivor left.
Thank
So
you.
we need to hold on to these elders of ours because they're leaving us.
Thank you, Chinga.
They're leaving us.
Yeah.
So that's the first
All right.
thing.
Okay. So what I'll do is this: we'll table Nutty's and Angie's little moment, and I'll deal with that on another date. But we'll table that for now. But honestly, W's for Viola Fletcher. That's serious business in the kingdom, and it matters. That's a piece of Black history, and it's very important we all understand the role she played in terms of keeping the information out there and telling her story about what happened when things happened to the Black folks in Tulsa, Oklahoma, in terms of Black wealth and things like that. It was burned down. Am I right?
That's it.
They stole it. It was stolen and stuff like that, right? I mean, and then there's more details, but it just goes to show you that we're really not too far removed away. We're not too far removed from how things in this country used to be. Yes, there has been progress, but we have a long way to go. Seriously.
That's the whole point. People think that this is ancient history. Ancient history, people aren't still alive from ancient history.
Mm-hmm.
There is yet one survivor left from the Tulsa massacre, and so I think a lot of us didn't learn about Mother Fletcher,
Yeah.
right? So, but even as Black people, we have to really learn about our history as well and the nuances behind everything because people will tell you, well, why can't you all build your own things? Why can't you do this, that, and the other? Well, we can, and we do, and we did. But every time we do, some of y'all get jealous and y'all want to burn it down. And y'all
Facts.
literally burned it down.
Facts.
And you unalived hundreds, if not thousands, because they really don't know how many people lost their lives during the Tulsa race massacre. They really don't know how many people lost their lives. So that's the first thing I wanted to do. Second thing is I am not as nice as any of you all because I'm not giving Erica Kirk a pass at all. 0 passes. So if y'all want to, not talk about a grieving widow, that's fine. Don't talk about her. I'll talk about her because I will talk about anyone that needs to be talked about, quite frankly, because
But she's a grieving widow.
okay, well, she's going to grieve then. Oh, okay, I'm still going to
No,
talk.
she's not, Zeus. She's not a grieving widow. No,
I'm
I want them to stop that. No, she's
Yeah.
not grieving at all.
I'm still going to talk because I don't know who said it. Someone on your live said it today. If she were at home doing this, that, and the other and out of the spotlight and grieving like a grieving real widow would be grieving, then we wouldn't talk about her. We wouldn't. But the fact that within 72 hours she was taking over Turning Point USA, now she spends her time in Washington D.C. hanging out with Trump and Vance and all these other jigaboos out here, as U.S. Army vet would say.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about her because she is what she is. She is what she is. So
Wow.
whatever. So whatever. I'm going to talk about her.
Go
All
for
right.
it.
So, and the last thing that I want to say is I got back on the panel yesterday and I alluded to it. I want people to understand now that Marjorie Taylor Greene has announced her resignation from Congress, we, the people, are still paying her health insurance. We, the people, are still going to be giving her her salary because now, after 5 years in Congress, she can technically retire from Congress and still keep the benefits that she's getting now. Let that sink in. She's calculated. That's what I was talking about yesterday. She's very calculated because she gets all of these benefits. And I think that's a conversation we can have at a later date. When you leave Congress, guess what should leave with you? All the benefits that you receive while in Congress. But that's not how it is. It's Democrats and Republicans alike. I think we should get rid of it. Period.
Yeah.
We don't need to take care of you for the rest of your life. Get on Medicaid and Medicare like the rest of us.
Let me say this, Zeus, then I'm going to drop because I got to go. Some nutty said when he said that they keep telling us to get our own. We went and got our own HBCUs. Here y'all come. We started our own fraternities. Here y'all come. Everything we started, here y'all come. So stop telling us to get our own. When we get our own, here y'all come. All right, Zeus.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
And you can take your mess somewhere else
W to Keisha. And I won't say anything about Nutty other than Nutty, get on out of here, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I'm so sorry. Sorry, bro. I'm still feeling a certain type of way, but the Lord is working with me. But until then, W Zeus. It's always W Zeus. And again, if I owe an apology, I will. But you just can't go around behind my back and just sneakily do things, Nutty. And you should totally get down on your knees and ask God to forgive you. Truly, truly, truly repent, because it's wrong to do that. It's really wrong. And if you know somebody is weak, and you trick them with Christmas trees, that says a lot about you. All right, so that's a W Zeus. Yeah, he's out here. It's like a cheat code or something. Oh, I can't get it on my own with the looks and the riz, so I got to show him a Christmas tree in order to trick him. So this is a lot about you, Nutty, and I'm not pleased, and God's not pleased now that I think about it. All right. Good morning, Val. Good morning, brother Val. And I'll bring up our good friend Jim as well, since we could do two at a time. It seems like that's fine. All right. Welcome.
I'm still laughing. I know what I'm buying Takesha for Christmas now. Takesha has set up her own gift. She has graduated from the 2-foot long wooden spoon to the 3-foot long metal spoon.
She did a great job. You need people like her to keep things stable, right? I mean, is that true? Did you guys hear anything about all that stuff? I said, wow, a Christmas tree?
No, I missed all of that, apparently.
Wow. All right, well, what do you two got this morning?
Well, your very first thing this morning when you played what Maga's going through and what the particular Maga demon you're playing was talking about, how they've been conned, right? I mean, really, in the end of it, that's really what it was trying to say. They've been conned.
Yeah.
And we've been telling Maga for a long time, but, I'm saying all the different ways they're being conned, all the different things that are going on, and I could spend forever going over all of that. But here's the thing, guys. America's been conned.
Wow.
And the people that voted for this let it happen. Okay?
Yeah.
Don't come looking at Democrats, blaming Democrats. Democrats didn't vote for this. You did. And when you voted for this, we sat up here in panels just like this and other panels across other apps as well and told you what was actually going to happen. This was not a fight over different single issues.
No.
This was a fight of the ultra wealthy versus you. And you sided with the ultra wealthy and are now shocked that they have conned the United States out of the amount of money they have, your taxpayers' dollars. and you're shocked. We're not shocked. We saw this coming. And with people like Erica Kirk, I'm with most of the group on this. I mean, yeah, if you put yourself into public light, the way she's doing it, that's you've crossed the path of grieving widow. You're now moving forth. You're now moving forth with your life. You're totally susceptible to any public scrutiny that you get. Period. End of story.
Yeah.
If you put yourself in the public doing this, you're open to the scrutiny.
Think about that. That's so true. That's so true. So you're saying that now that she's done this, she's subjected to the feedback that she's getting, and the fact that people are making an issue about, for instance, her and that quote hug. She can't be a victim in that situation.
Hug. 20 minutes ago, I showed my wife. My wife goes, "I've never seen this," and so I showed her.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, "Oh no, you'd be dead."
Thank you. That's real talk. Like, let's not pretend like it isn't anything other than that. And that's the thing that I dislike, especially when it comes from the folks on the right who like to brand themselves, as conservatives, Christian. Like, yeah, I'm looking at them, I'm going, there's no way you would allow your significant other to wear those kind of pants and go out and do something like that and then come home and then say, "Oh, baby, we're in love. We're the happiest family." You would have a lot of problems. So don't okay it when these folks do it.
I mean, I guess there's a point we can call them Christian, but when you add the term nationalist to it, I think it kind of grays out the term Christian, right?
Touche. Touche. W. Val. No lies detected. Now, we have our good friend Jim up here who's been, very, very honestly, quietly waiting for us. Jim, how are you doing this lovely morning? Welcome.
Good morning, guys. Hi, Val. What an honor to share the screen with my brother from another mother.
How's it going?
So for those of you who don't know, and since Tiny Tank Talk 10 likes to be in here, Val and I are not actually related, but we share a birthday. That's why we call each other siblings. So there we go. We're birthday siblings.
See? You learn something new every day. Wow.
I'm still stuck, Zeus, when I came on this morning in my exhaustion of fog from hospital to home, because I'm on my way back there now.
Yeah.
Hearing you tell that person you couldn't bust a grape in a food fight.
Angus. Yeah, he couldn't bust a grape in a fruit fight, and he knows that, or they know that.
I'm still laughing at that one. I'm like, that's the best quote ever.
Thank you.
But, speaking of Christianity and all this support for Israel, I want to ask your audience, since there's 1.3 thousand people in here, how many of you know that Christians are actually being attacked in Israel right now?
Oh, I didn't.
How many of you know that there's nobody stopping it? That actual Christians are being harmed. Churches are being set on fire. Women are being spit on that are trying to preach Christianity in Israel. Because I hear the right talking about Muslims doing it in Nigeria, but I do not hear them talking about Israelis doing it in Israel. So the very country that we are giving billions of dollars to assist, and we are not correcting that behavior, shows you exactly who the Trump administration's in bed with. And it's not religious for me. It's just human decency for me, that we are out here watching them commit genocide on the Palestinian people. And it's the literal administration of Netanyahu that's doing it. And it's awfully quiet. Have you noticed how quiet it's been?
Yeah.
You're not hearing from Netanyahu these days, right? Because the writing's on the wall. The corruption has been seen. The world is paying attention. They are not allowing it anymore. They don't care about whether or not Trump is calling himself the greatest anymore. What they're doing is they're redirecting their energy to the things that matter, like climate control, like medical sciences, like protecting against the next epidemic, like holding him accountable and not sending information about the boats in international waters because they know he's corrupt. And when this time comes a close, we as Americans are going to have a shame over us for allowing this to ever have happened. Now, my conscience is clear. I never voted for this man. But the one thing I say, and Val, you can attest to this, for 5 years I have been saying, it's not just Trump. We have an entire party that has allowed the degradation, the assaults on American citizens and migrants and the LGBTQ community and religious groups, and then all along preaching how we're supposed to uphold Christian values in this country. So the entire Republican Party is responsible for the crimes that have happened. And people need to understand that you need to go and check your registration. You need to go and talk to your neighbors and friends and family. You need to be the voice and the vote that changes the direction for this country. You need to do that.
Yep.
You can no longer point the finger and blame Trump and his administration, because all the people who put this loser in power are responsible, and all that sit idly by, forgetting that they are a co-equal branch of government, are responsible for this continuity happening. The crimes against the country that we are witnessing, the stealing of our federal taxpayer dollars. Because let me tell you, people, MAGA movement, I hope you're listening. There's nothing on that tax form that says you're a Republican or a Democrat. All it shows is a dollar sign. And the man behind you in this entire administration and the MAGA party that's sitting in Congress are literally predators and thieves. They are stealing our money, harming our children, and you voted for it.
No lies
voted
detected. No lies detected. Hit him, Jim. Bad boy, she's not lying, and the Democrats aren't done. Have you seen our poll numbers?
And there's nothing more satisfying to me than when I hear that the Republicans are starting to absolutely recognize that at this point, they helped perpetrate the crimes against their own country.
Mm-hmm.
And there is going to be a reckoning.
Yep.
There is. It's coming. And it's not going to be just the Democrats. It's going to be all Americans uniting to fight the alt-right. That is what you are going to witness, because crimes against humanity have occurred in an international waters all over the world, under the guise of the Trump administration and the flag that we fly. And that is disgusting to me as an American, that we are having to tell our veterans, you took an oath to the Constitution, you are to protect the country, not the person, not the administration. The oath is to the Constitution of this country and anyone who is in its borders here and abroad.
Yeah.
And I don't think people understand that there are many Americans living abroad that are doing the work for the United States of America that are also at risk right now because of this administration harming everybody else. And we don't talk about that enough. There are veterans, there are agents, there are medical staff that literally go all over the globe with the cloak of being an American citizen that's supposed to be, representing our nation, and we're not wanted now. We're the plague because of this administration and what's been allowed. It is going to take a decade to at minimum, Val, wouldn't you agree?
At least a decade to fix it. Yeah. And I'm going to go ahead, Jim.
To reverse course. No, I wanted you to weigh in. Go ahead.
Yeah. The thing everybody needs to remember with stuff like this, and somebody brought up the G20 earlier.
Yeah.
And Trump used the excuse of, I'm not going to the G20 because of what's happening to white farmers in South Africa. Well, that has never been the American stance in any situation like this. In any situation like this, the president or whoever his person was going to be that was going to go to the G20 and talk about it would go there with the evidence of what's actually happening. Okay, and bring that out to the whole world, because the G20 is a world stage. Okay, and they would bring that evidence out to the whole world. That was how we did things in the past. We did not cower and bury our head in the sand and just say, hey, that's why I'm not coming, without proof, without evidence. But that seems to be this president's way, even when it comes to the U.S. itself. I'm going to tell you things, but I'm not going to give you a single piece of evidence that backs it up. That is his MO, and has been ever since he has taken office. Wow. Okay? And that goes back to his first term and now in his second term. I want people to remember that it's only been a little over 10 months this man has been in office. Okay? Wow. Okay, a little over 10 months. And in that 10 months, we have watched the wealthy get much wealthier. We have watched the middle class shrink even more. We have watched healthcare being taken away from people.
Yep.
We have watched SNAP being taken away from people. We have watched attacks on Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security.
Facts.
Okay? We have seen all this go down. We have witnessed egregious acts against our Constitution when it comes to migrants in this country. Egregious act when it comes to United States citizens in this country.
Wow.
In 10 months, we have seen all this. I will dare you to go back in history and find more devastation in a 4-year presidency than we've seen in 10 months.
Exactly.
That is what we are actually dealing with.
And I go back to the word allowed, Val. It was
Allowed,
allowed
yes.
to happen.
That is what we are facing. People that come up here, like Big whoever it was a little bit ago wanting to type in lies and all that stuff. Sir, these aren't lies. We've watched women in Texas unalive and be hidden from us for a year because of predatory laws put in place that this administration allowed. We have watched women set in hospitals and not be taken care of.
We've watched American citizens be detained, held, and sent out of the country.
Right. Where
They
does
voted
this
for this.
end? Right.
They
You
voted
voted
for this because they
Right.
want to own the libs. They want to be a part of Trump's revenge tour. They feel like Biden did something to them, and so this is them trying to get back some sort of justice.
Right. But we're also seeing another trend.
I also want to make sure to remind people, Val, since you brought up South Africa, the importance of people realizing that Twitter just announced where a lot of this misinformation and the attacks on Biden came from. It's all foreign entities that we've been talking about for 5 years. All the trolls, all the bots that have been attacking them, paid trolls, by the way, because in those countries, they're starving in many of those places like Indonesia and Africa. They're working like they go to a job to spew misinformation that they've been force-fed to spew on Twitter and social media to harm our country. So let's be very clear. If everybody in here did their due diligence and actually Googled Joe Biden talking about South Africa when the apartheid was happening, Joe Biden was the one that held them accountable. It is one of the greatest interactions in Congress I have ever seen.
Wow.
And he did not let up. And if you would just do your effort instead of listening to just social media and go pull the actual congressional records and listen to him reading transcripts and him telling the people in Congress how they failed the people of South Africa,
That part.
you would do better. Just like with the crime bill, you got, so much misinformation was put out about the crime bill, saying that Joe Biden was the one who wrote the whole crime bill. That's a lie. It was Buck out of Texas. And he wrote the Domestic Violence Act against women. But it was perpetrated on a lie to spew it out in a way where it made you attack Joe Biden. And I'm going to tell you this, Joe Biden is going to go down as one of the most consequential presidents of our time ever for the amount of legislation he got passed after a pandemic and the help that he proceeded to give the American people and clean up the mess left by this pig behind you. I can't say it enough.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that I think Val and I have talked about economically lately is just the misinformation that's out there with regard to what this administration has done. People out there have to start understanding that there is going to be such a ripple effect economically, hospitals, care that people are receiving in schools, education processes, the damage that has been done to all of it, the CDC, the immigration system, the medical system, the Department of Education, all of the federal things that we pay for, our tax dollars pay for, are not being used for the American people. This administration is stealing our money. Nursing homes, thank you. Start listing them, people. Start talking about them. Teacher shortages,
Get it out
nursing
there.
shortages.
Yep.
Start understanding that is now the time. And I want, the reason I came up is I've been doing this thing about forgiveness lately.
Uh-oh.
And I want people to understand something. Forgiveness is not about the other person. These MAGA that come up and they're like, why can't we just get along? Or even the ones that say, well, I made a mistake. Well, you voted for him 3 times. That's not a mistake. That's a choice. And when you choose to align yourself with an actual felon, when you choose to align yourself with an actual predator, you telling me you're sorry when the damage is done is no longer a viable choice for me. Your actions have to speak louder now. And your actions should be, I should be seeing you on these lives, encouraging people to register to vote blue, encouraging people to believe in medical sciences, encouraging people to take back their country and understand the oath to the Constitution.
Amen.
Your forgiveness is not going to come from me. Your forgiveness is going to come from within at this point, because you made choices to harm your fellow American citizens, and you made choices to harm the migrant workers, and you made choices to harm Palestine by voting for a man who literally flattened Palestine. Like, let's be real. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden followed the laws, and you may not like the laws, but then you have to vote to change the laws. You don't vote for the opposite and then and I know you know, because you did a whole series on the people of Michigan that voted for this pig. So, and I'm calling him a pig because you've never heard me say that before, because I usually don't name call. But if a man gets on an Air Force One where a woman has worked her way to the top as a journalist and has integrity and is asking the president of the United States questions, and he's allowed to put his hand in her face and tell her, quiet piggy, he has no respect coming from me. The pig is the one oinking the loudest, and that is him. We need to hold these people accountable, and anyone who justifies the actions that he has taken against women and migrants.
I'm losing you.
Stand up.
Okay, I think I can hear you now.
Stand up against it. The tyranny of the minority is going to stop.
Thank you.
I love you guys. I got to get to the hospital. So
okay, thank you.
Have a great day. Take care, everybody.
All right.
And that's what, and you know what I'm saying, and everything Jim's saying is absolutely right. We need to stand up for what's right in the Democratic Party. Midterms need to be a blowout, and midterms, just like the 2025 elections were. Midterms need to be a blowout. They need to send a clear message that this country is no longer going to accept this type of behavior.
I won't accept it. We won't accept it. Tell them, Val. All right, then.
All righty, guys.
W's in the chat for Brother Val. No. Lies detected. Uh-oh, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. We have, let's see. All right, thank you. Oh, my goodness. All right, W Val in the chat. No lies detected. So it's been a complete blowout this morning, ladies and gentlemen. We've totally obliterated and destroyed every single Trump voter that is out there. This is probably one of the most incredible and amazing shows. It really is. Don't run. Whoever that liar was. Oh, look at that, DJ. You've been destroyed, DJ. You've been super silent, and a lot of us have actually. They said, Zeus, whatever you did to DJ, keep doing it. So, thank you. Hey, DJ, let me ask you an honest question, though, honestly. How are Donald Trump's poll numbers doing? How are his poll numbers doing, DJ? I get it. It's too scary in the box. How are his poll numbers doing? Oh, yeah, he doesn't have any answers for us. All right. Hey, DJ, do you want to come to grips with the reality that Donald Trump's name is all over the Epstein files? Because, DJ one day said, if his name is in the Epstein files, Zeus, I'm done with him. Okay. Why are you still hanging out? Why are you still supporting? Well, then, Zeus, I've told you before, Zeus, there's things Donald Trump does that I don't like. Okay, well, eventually you're going to get to the place where you know who Bubba is, too. Hey, Kabir, how are you doing? You remember it,
Hi,
Greg? Yeah,
Zeus.
he said that. Yeah. How are you doing? Sorry.
I'm all right. I'm doing good. I think, out of all the things Trump has done, what I really find disturbing
Mm-hmm.
is how they want to take the Department of Education and declassify professional certifications in certain fields. Now, I say to myself, well, that's predominantly fields that women belong to. And then I say no, because I know when I received my care
Mm-hmm.
at the VA, my nurses, plenty of my nurses were men. My physician assistant who
Mm-hmm.
gave me my follow-up care, or my nurse
Yep.
practitioner who gave me my follow-up care for my knee surgery, was a man. As you know, my father was a doctor, and he told me he depended heavily on his nurses. So what are we doing here? I mean, I want people to think deeper than it's a woman's field, because we look at it, he's down, they want to declassify engineering,
Yep.
architects. So we look at these things, and these are really the backbone of this country. And I want people to think deeper than,
Yeah.
like I said, it's just a field that women belong into. This is a way a lot of people pull themselves up. The lowest median income on a beginner in that field is about 65, 70,000.
Wow.
The highest income is about 300,000, because you have nurses that only deal with operating rooms, operation rooms. They're a head operation nurse, right? So I want the chat to just really think deep about that. That is another way of changing the economic disparity
Mm-hmm.
of the haves and the have-nots. This is where a lot of people move into the upper middle income by
Yeah.
getting in these professions. So I just wanted to put that out,
Thank
Zeus.
you. Thank you.
That's really bothering me.
I'm
I
glad
mean,
you brought that up.
besides waiting on my $5,000 Doge check, it still hasn't.
You ain't got your $5,000 Doge check. It's on its way. He saved so much money. I promise you, it's on its way. And then you're going to get another $2,000 because of the tariff. You didn't know about that?
Oh well, yeah, but that the 5,000 is older than the 2,000. So I figure collectively that 7,000, I could probably get me maybe a year worth of health insurance. I mean, what are we talking about here, Zeus?
And that health insurance, it's on its way. He has a new proposal that he's going to roll out. And then yesterday he said, you know what? I'll save it until maybe a different day. I don't want to share that plan. All right. So you got the money coming. You got health insurance coming. I mean, you should really be in great shape going into the holidays.
I'm telling you, I think. Oh, you know what, Zeus? Don't you let Angie and Nutty get away with that. Even
Okay.
though Takesha, my sister, I love you.
Yeah.
That was pretty kind of swanky what you did. However, Zeus, I want you to know this.
Thank you.
Don't take it the wrong way, little brother. If I was 20 years younger, I'd be chasing you.
Thank you. And you know what? I didn't take it the wrong way. And you're gonna get You're gonna get very far with that attitude, sis. Seriously, because you tell the truth, and I know you understand it's hurting a lot of people's feelings, but it's the goodness in you. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's give Kabir a huge round of applause, because something's wrong with Nutty. Something's wrong with him.
So, Nut, Nut. I would say Nut. If I was walking down the street and Nutty approached me, I probably would have said hello and kept going.
Thank you. And that's even if we were on the streets. And I'm glad you put it at that level, on the streets, because you wouldn't see him anywhere else.
But you, Zeus, I don't know. I give you my phone number and give you a wink and say, call me sometime, Big Zeus.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, wow. Ladies and gentlemen, W's in the chat for Kabir and Kip. I mean, I feel a lot better now that you came up here and said that. And if they want to be haters, then let the haters be amongst themselves, all right? Because that's where haters belong.
And if Angie gets impressed with 3 Christmas trees,
yeah,
wow, wow.
Well, she doesn't. She hasn't even seen what I have. You know what I'm saying? That's how I looked at that. So I said,
that's right.
All right. I mean, and I hate to say it, but I got way more than 3 Christmas trees over here. I mean,
you got more swag than 3 Christmas trees, Zeus.
Because you got to take the Christmas trees out at the end of the year. You ain't got to take what I got out at the end of the year. It stayed with you all year. W Zeus. Thank you, Kabir. Thank you. You're such a great person. Thank you for reminding us all what's really important.
Who's a therapist you want to get rid of?
I can't hear you.
But
I think there's a
yeah. Go ahead.
I think there's a connection. I'm barely.
I said I've got to get ready to run. That was. Oh yeah, it probably is a connection problem. Anyway, Zeus.
All right.
Peace out.
Peace out. All right, ladies and gentlemen. W. Kabira. No lies detected. Nutty nose. All right. Good morning, brother Q Dog. Good morning. You were saying something about Christmas trees and presents?
Oh yeah. I actually put the presents up under the Christmas trees.
Oh, okay. So you got more than nutty, is what you're saying.
Christmas trees ain't nothing without the presents.
That's what I said. I mean, I don't know what that brother was thinking, but it's the most desperate act I've seen a man do. You know what I mean? To try to get a woman's attention, and I'm actually now that you say it like that, I don't even feel bad. I feel bad for him.
Bro, you know how Kobe and Shaq do.
Yeah. Dynamic duel. WQ.
On Christmas Day.
Yeah. He got to hang out. He got to put Christmas trees up to get a date.
But I got a question for Maga, and it's been on my mind. I'm still recovering from my surgery I had last Thursday. So
good. I'm glad that went well.
Yeah, just a little swelling and little pain, but ain't nothing that I can't get past.
All right.
But my experience, of course, Tiny Tank Top 10. This is for you.
Yeah.
You do need insurance. Through 2 surgeries I've had in the lab since August up until present.
Yeah.
That ranged well over $100,000. And with my insurance, I only paid a slight fraction of that. So I'm just trying to figure out how he functions without insurance. My other question to Maga is, with my experience going into, going in under the knife or whatnot, and the nurses are in there and they're comforting me, giving me, a soft voice in my ear saying it's going to be okay. We're going to make sure that you get through this. Don't worry about anything. Just keeping my spirit calm.
Yeah.
Why is it that we know that the closest thing to unalivement for a woman is birth, right?
Yeah.
You can't survive without a woman. You don't exist without a woman. So how is it that you don't protect women, but they give their life to bring you into the world? And then while you're in the world and you're laying on that operating table, they're the ones that are comforting you. But you don't do the same for them in the streets when you see them attacked by these Maga and these so-called men.
Amen.
Throwing them on the ground, treat them like animals. These are the women that nurtured you and brought you into this world. Make it make sense, Maga. I'm just curious because you have a lot of women that still care for you no matter what you do in life. You could be that person that went to jail, don't have a dime to your name, and mama's right there waiting for you when you come out with a hot plate, with clothes for your back. You done stole, you done robbed from your mama, but mama's still right there for you. So help me understand why you don't have that same energy when it comes to the women of the world to protect them. You got all these ICE agents out here doing everything that they can do because Trump allows them to do it. But they forget about mama. They forget about big mama. When you ain't have a dime to your name and you ain't have an ounce of gas in your car, who was you calling? You wasn't calling daddy. You wasn't calling your grandpa. You wasn't calling Trump. Who was you calling? If you down and out and you laying on the ground, you can't get up, who was the person that you calling? Who was George Floyd calling when he was taking his last breath?
His mama.
So help me understand this, Maga. Why don't you have that same energy against these demons? Because that's all they are, demons. And I say this time and time again, the greatest trick that the devil ever pulled on the world was to basically show that he didn't exist. And you see these demons all day, every day. You see them right behind Zeus. That ain't nothing but a demon.
Amen.
But you're not willing to protect the women of your life and the women that had your back from day one, from first day of birth.
Boom.
You don't protect them.
They don't. That's the hypocrisy that's going on in the cult. And you see the latest example, Marjorie. Even if we don't like her, that's their woman. And Donald Trump said, "Get her." And guess what they did? They went
You
right
know,
ahead.
you got a lot of people that fall to the wayside.
Mm-hmm.
And it is what it is. People make mistakes. Marjorie Taylor Greene, I'm glad when you take that last breath, it's too late.
Yep.
Ain't no turning back the hands of time when it comes to that. And we still trying to figure out why you MAGA still follow these evil people that don't give a damn about you.
They don't?
They'll walk right over you if you trying to take your last breath.
Mm-hmm.
Why you still calling mama?
Bingo. Thank you. These hypocrites, they're going to continue to.
I just wanted. I
think
you
there's
know,
a delay.
I'm just. My question is, what do you think? What are you thankful for? Are you thankful for this man allowing you to be the biggest hypocrites and the biggest bigots on the face of the earth, to do ungodly deeds, evilness to the core? Or are you thankful for life? Because in 2.2 seconds, you could be gone.
Amen.
You don't cherish life. You don't cherish the people that love you. You don't cherish the people that support you. All you cherish is your own selfishness.
What a disgrace.
That's the reason why you don't believe anything that Trump says. He said it out his mouth. If I go down, I'm taking all of y'all with me. We've heard that time and time again in a lot of different movie categories. If I go down, you going down with me. But y'all still support him.
What a disgrace.
And when you lock behind them cold walls, because it's coming, MAGA.
Jail. Prison.
All y'all ICE agents out there doing the stuff you think that is gonna be okay when this person is gone, unalive and gone. You think you're gonna get away with it? No, we gonna remember everything that you did. And just like J6, we coming after you. They coming after you. And when you behind them cold walls, who you gonna call? Who the first person you gonna call? Oh, I already know who you gonna call.
Ghostbusters?
Mama, can you help me? Mama, can you help me? No, keep that same energy because you put your mama up under the bus when you voted for this clown. I've said my piece.
All right, brother. Thank you. I appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, WQ Dog. Mama put money on my books. Yep. No lies detected. Thank you, champ. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, listen, we've totally destroyed every Trump voter this morning, and it's time for Big Zeus to get on out of here. This show, you know, it is what it is. I sit back and I look and I go, I never thought we would get to a place like this on TikTok where we've literally silenced MAGA just because we've been doing an outstanding job bringing daily content, daily actual factual information out here that just shows these folks are done. When you got these content creators on the internet being exposed that, you know, they come from Nigeria and then they're hanging up the towel. When we make Marjorie Taylor Greene resign, I mean, we're doing a great job. W to all of you. And so, Maga, while you're lurking in the shadows, right? I want you to understand we got a good elephant memory over here. We know we will remember and we will forever hold each and every single one of you accountable for these. I would actually consider this war crimes. Nobody takes who serious. Viper, zip it. Viper, zip it. You're saying that as you're on a ship that's literally sinking to the bottom of the ocean. Mariana Trench bottom. I'm talking the bottom of the ocean. No one, you should rewrite that. Nobody takes Trump serious anymore. Yeah. Because we could show you photos of him walking around with a number 1 and a number 2 in his pants legs because he got the catheter and maybe something else going on in there. All right, we could point that out. We could show you photos of him falling asleep. We could show you photos of him bending the knee to Zoran Mamdani. Are you kidding me? We could tell you stories. I could tell you literal stories, play over and over. Just Trump voter after Trump voter jumping ship saying, we're done with this guy. I could show you things about him and Epstein that would literally blow your socks off. And you're going to have the audacity to say that no one takes me serious? Have you lost your mind? See, this is what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. And so that's why there's really nothing else left to say to MAGA other than, just keep doing what you're doing, all right? Because when it's all said and done, you will face justice at the highest level in this country, and that's a W, Zeus. I want to give each and every single one of you a huge round of applause. All right, thank you for tuning in. All right, this show is definitely entertaining, engaging, and educational. W. Kabira. Wow, thank you. Thank you. Thank you to all the subscribers, gifters, moderators, and panelists. Seriously. But I also got to give one last round of booze and shame. And you all know who this goes out to. It's to the defeated MAGA. It's to the fragile MAGA species that we've totally annihilated, obliterated in under a year after Donald Trump assumed office for a second time. These folks know they're living a lie. Their dreams are now nightmares, right? Their dreams have turned literally into nightmares. These folks are going to pass away, peacefully cross over into the afterlife by virtue of maybe they ran out of money because Trump took their money with the tariffs, right? They're not going to have any health insurance because Trump took that away. They're not going to have any food because Trump took that away. They're not going to have any water because Trump's taking everything they need to survive. He's taking it away in the name of owning the libs, and it's all backfiring in record time. Join me in sending these MAGA demons, aka Zeus haters, where they belong one last time. Straight to hell! Bye-bye. I don't care.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
We're out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great rest of your morning.
Yeah. Gotta wake the chain up. Get injected with some power. Pull some strings.
Hey, Nutty. You keep handing out Christmas cards, all right? I'm the Rizzler. Have a great rest of your morning. Hey. Got the game in a choke. Yeeted it out, now my legacy hitting empty smoke. Thank you, everyone. Keep on going, keep on supporting all of your content creators out there that are putting in the work to get the word out, because we're going to bring the poll numbers back down to reality. All right. Making history right here, she fit. But they cannot touch the throne. Posted in the Oval Office, trapping in the zone. That's the hate, got my foot on the gas. I'm bulletproof, yeah, my aura is built to last. Let's go, Cindy. Presidential flex, got my game on my necklace, level up. Drip too clean, W-R. No cap lit, yeah, 4 on 1,000, 100. Let's go. Posted in the Capitol, moving like I own the block. Marissa, thank you. Got me 100, no Massage lips celestial, shining brighter than a star. Yeah, Trump is done, Kamira. You're right. Turn the dreams into chandeliers. I'm stay lurking, but they folding under all the pressure. 1600, I'm the one flexing. I'm the new successor. Trap soul in the White House. DC is the town. Woke up in the mansion. Views from the East Wing Prime. Got the poles in a climb. No cap. I'm the vibe. Turn the calm into storm. Got the world dropping bombs like I'm reading out of songs. Hops trying to glitch, but my code is unbreakable. Ski through the storm. Legacy unshakable. Let's go. Hey! Make the whole world flip. Busted off the charts, got the game in a trance. Drip too wavy, yeah, make you wanna dance. Thank you, Cindy. Yes, 400K. Reading out a song. You got that? Yeah, I said world dropping bombs. Got them reading out a song. You know what that's about. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here. Have a great rest of your morning.